What's good, chat? Well, what's good? How we feeling, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Real quick, I have to post my damn. I have to post my damn other content. Just uploaded the Friends Who Don't Play, ranking every operator just got released as well. So after this, go watch that. I gotta real quick post it to my usual places. Hello, Mazu. Fake fan, I can't believe this. What do you mean, Laffy? What makes you a fake fan? You're a very real fan. You're even a fan of C Squad. You even show up to the thing that I do with other people. You're always showing up. Or copy that and then paste that in. Oh, I love fucking posting this shit everywhere. Oh, okay. Oh, White Pharaoh. I almost forgot that I put White Pharaoh in the thumbnail. Oh, White Pharaoh. All my homies love White Pharaoh. What a legend. What an OG hood motherfucker. I gotta get back on like the Arknights grind as well, because if we actually start getting some super chats for the fishy, I'm not gonna have enough like shit for Tarka. You didn't do the homework? Laffy, you're like the only one who's ever done the homework. Chapters 3 and 4, shit. If you didn't read them, a lot happened. I don't know. A lot happened. Kulan, the one guy who isn't ultra pale, in Ireland here, the one man who's seen sun in his life and has told stories of it to everyone else. He died. He's dead. The little Victorian child that he was looking after, he's dead. Laushini wants to try to find a cure for Eblana, and Eblana's like, there's no cure, the flames are evil, please kill me. It was quite good, Laffy. I I can't give you quite the same detailed look, but it was good. You can trust that. It was quite solid. Is there anything relevant sent anywhere that I have to make sure that I look at before? It doesn't seem like anyone sent me anything that I want to mention on stream or is relevant on stream. Alright, don't think so. By the way, I'm so close to being done rereading all these events, chat. I'm so not looking forward to like the like recording the voiceover for it. It's gonna be like hours and hours and everything because it's so many events. I'm so not looking forward to the actual like video creation process, the actual editing of it. I'm so not looking forward to it. It's gonna be hours and hours and hours and hours. And given, of course, YouTube's in there making bad decisions arc again, as always, I doubt it's gonna even get. I doubt this video is even gonna do better than the like breedable Zalaks thing. So, which is ultra sad. But I bet you, like, that whole massive video that's taken like months and months to like all do all the reading. It's gonna be hours and hours and hours of the editing, and all of that is all just going to be probably performing worse than the stupid video I wrote in like one day about fucking Zalaks society. Society just wants to hear about what you want to have sex with, not what you enjoyed reading. It's so sad. Period stuff, pharaohs, fire. All right. Anyways, chat, we do have kind of a long way to go. We got to get through the EAs, the EA5, EA6, ST2, EA7, EA8, EA ST3. This time we shouldn't have to do any homework, you know. We should just be able to go to being done because I don't have to stop for like an hour or so for gambling. So we should be in a much better spot to actually finish. Okay. We're back in the pretty forest, and you know the pretty forest kind of has like that but like the swamp with the hag in the first act of Baldur's Gate 3, it kind of transforms and becomes very stinky gross. Either way, I mean, I think without further ado, we can just go. Now, what accent was it for you, Reed? Oh yeah, it was me trying to do the Irish while trying to make it high and dainty. Was that another trick of the shadows? This isn't the right way. I'm going in circles. I can't see the sky. How long's it been? How far do I still have to go? Well, I'm in the dark woods at least. The mist and noise Brigid was talking about didn't keep me out. Tricky Faye. Shadows pointed in the wrong way. Balby's the trappier with the branches. It's all more or less the same as when I was bringing Morin and the others back. The trees are too tall, and the leaves too thick. They block out the sky, making the life here different from outside. This is the right path. I'm at the heart of the dark woods now. The scenery seems different from before. Where did the red and gold of autumn go? Why does it look like this? The black mist. The woods are rejecting me after all. Ashni grabs her weapon tightly. If Nemos was right and Dublin never returned after leaving the city, then they're most likely swallowed by the mist. It shows no sign of aggression, it simply lingers. Does it reject me? No, it's closer to indifference. Disappointment? Why? And you can see the fucked up woods. Very nice, very nice. There's no answer except the rustling of leaves. Aushini shakes her head and cautiously goes around the mist, choosing a path that looks like it had a light at the end. The mist remains indifferent to her passage. The fae that delight in leading travelers astray are nowhere to be seen. Another dead end. No time to waste here. Sorry, but I'll have to burn the way through. You're overthinking it. Who's there? Take a guess. Me, random guy. Oh, I remember me. Exiled king. I'm a little purple. I almost look like I'm a lean hologram. You, how could it be? If that gentleman from the city, I wanted to ask you something, but you... Indeed. Hardly the most amicable partings. Since then, I've been following and watching you for a while now. Consider it my way of reflecting on myself. I'll admit you're not quite what I thought, but this is no time for small talk. Do not burn the trees. It should be enough to illuminate them with your fire. See for yourself what they really are. What they really are? The leaves are razor sharp. The brambles are hard. And the branches have a metallic gleam. What is this? That's not important. What's important is that your fire can't burn through it. I mean... Can Draco fire melt steel branches? Now follow me. Hurry, before the black mist changes its mind. We can talk later, but if that thing is in a bad mood, there won't be anything left to bury you when it's done with you. Isn't that the dead end? Why do you put so much faith in what you see? Just listen and move. It's not like our eyes are like the primary thing that we as people use to observe the world around us. This is the path I took when we came to Nausar Sea. This is where those trails lead. If you don't mind me asking, are you in the forest fae? Don't be ridiculous. I have nothing to do with them. The woods, though. Centuries have passed, but it's hardly changed at all, other than the black mist. Ruins the view, really. We'll be out of the dark woods soon. Nakiji. Oh, this is really What's happening? Look behind you. Oh my god, it's the rest of the fucking gang. Reed! Reed! Reed, we're here! Disappear on the well-lit edge of the woods. What happened in the city? It's like the black mist got angry the moment you entered it, cutting it off from the outside. It's been days since anyone went into the dark woods. Few people were hunting on the outskirts when they heard sounds from within. It's all would look like fire. Well, whenever something similar happened before, the Wakeman told us not to approach the woods. This time, though, we recognize your fire. We can hardly ignore it. You shouldn't have come. Danger is here. And you shouldn't have either. Not on your own. We all learned our lesson about letting you go off alone after waiting for you in the marshes outside Londinium. We trust you, so please trust us back. Thank you. You're welcome. Let's go back to camp. Sarabiji, who are you talking to? Is there someone else with you? The red dragon turns around, but her uninvited companion has already vanished without trace, like dew under the morning sun. If in all his years of acting, Phantom ever got a script that was broken. He played the role of Null in the script that is broken? Hold up, just like in Minecraft, the broken script, the mod? That's insane. Never, I wasn't super excited for the Phantom Altar event, but given now that I know it's a tie-in to the broken script mod, that's pretty crazy. Now I'm a fan. Thank you for providing refuge for these people. Nemos entrusted them to us. We simply did our part. On behalf of the Wakemen, I promise that we will not reveal your existence to anyone unaware. You've seen with your own eyes that your people are safe. Now, time for you to leave. What do you mean? Is she not well, what do you mean? Is she not welcome here? Neither are your people, Morin. Whenever two red dragons meet, endless conflicts await. Insist on involving yourselves in it, then we can no longer offer you sanctuary. Man, how could you? This is how we have always been. Wakemen neither start nor end conflict. The disputes of the living are our concern. We watch over only the souls of the departed. If you truly are the noble and compassionate leader Morin imagines you to be, will not drag these innocents into your battle, Red Dragon. This isn't a battle between two Red Dragons. Aim to seek your help on behalf of the people of Now CRC. Every battle has its reasons. It's not an excuse. Reed wouldn't do that. Excuse or not, the disputes of the living are none of our concern. Hard-learned lesson whose bitter fruits we continue to taste to this day. Now leave. What if I'm back here to ask you to hold a funeral? A funeral? In that case, the Wakemen will welcome you, but for that and only that. Now, tell me the name of the departed, their deeds in life, and present the remains. His name was Kulan. He was a blacksmith. Kulan! How did he die? The purple flames of death took both his life and his will. Not even my flames can help him now. Then why is it that not a single denizen of Now CRC has come to us to request a funeral since the city became independent? So it transpires that the first Now CRC had to be mourned since the end of the war, not taken by war at all. Yes! The first to be mourned since the end of the war was not taken by war? Yes. The guy who died after the war was over didn't die in the war? Wow, crazy to think. So I would weave this straw into the ring like this? Yeah, then adorn it with these flowers and the wreath is complete. I remember when the farmers put a wreath on your head praying for a good harvest next year. Feels like old times, man. I miss that. Are you not happy here? I rather enjoy it myself, but the others might find it stifling. The life of a Wakeman's almost like a self-punishment after all. What's the word for it again? asceticism, no alcohol, no overeating, no fancy foods, can't even laugh too loud. They wake up before sunrise and sleep after midnight. Everything in between is some ritual or other. At least they don't expect the same from us, but there's no avoiding them when we have to help out on the farms and stuff. I've practically forgotten how to laugh. Ha! Ha ha! See, that's not right. Warren's the only one who goes out of her way to talk to them. Learning something new every day. Might be able to tie certain knots, might be able to estimate the age of a tree. Oh, compared to the Wakemen and the Tales, though. Your Highness. Ma'am? I did not expect to find you here working with them. Rita's always been like this. Hmm? Should we excuse ourselves? No, I simply came to confirm the fact of the departed for the purpose of the ritual. Please, tell me what happened to Kulan. Sorry if I'm yawning more than normal, by the way. I didn't sleep super well last night. A little bit of a tired boy. I will tell you all that I saw, and as I saw it, I hope it makes you feel something. Meanwhile, back with Dragon 2. Look at her disassociating. What a dragon thing to do. All these dragons always staring off into space, disassociating. I hate bad sleep. True. Facts. And then I think Eblana had the Irish accent, but it was like just like it was just like me more normally. I've already dismissed all the servants in the citadel. His footsteps then. Your Highness, I think I was also like this, which means there's a lot of voices that are like this, so I'll probably have to change some of them. Ah, T, did you need something? You weren't going to ask how I returned. Nay, I won't. You came back and that's all that matters, my loyal servant. Besides, I have a fairly good idea of what sort of guest you can bring me. Has the curfew started? Just now. Then you could say my orders have been followed. Failure. Failure? Nasiarsi is here. I am here. What failure? Escape. The deadline is Samhain. Surely the Black Mist remembers this, even if it's hardly known for being a good listener. Unsurprising. Disappointing. Unacceptable. I meant to understand something from these words. Or perhaps ye, too, prefer the directness of arts and destruction to the imprecision of language. No sooner do the words leave Eblana's lips than gleaming branches thrust forth from the dark mist, reaching for her throat. At the same time, her spear penetrates the thickness. Purple fire is faintly visible from within. Burn it all away to nothingness with the thought. The branches never find Eblana's throat, and her purple flames never ignite. Samhain. By the time the sun rises on the day after Samhain, the outcome will be plain for all to see. So, why don't we dispense with these meaningless bluffs? Just say, like, fuck it or some shit. I don't know. Eblana's spear still impales the mist, but the branches before her throat disappear a moment later, as do the flames at the tip of her spear. The dark mist dissipates. Your Highness, what the fuck was that? Are you still here? Did you need something else? Is this about Dublin? There are only the two of us here. I permit you to speak that word again, my most loyal servant. Thank you, but there's no need. Spectres are but spectres. They help found a nation, there's no place for ghosts in the history books. Unless you count all of the dead people in history books. But I worry about my colleagues who stayed behind that day, as I did. Where are they? Would they mean you harm? No need to worry. Even if there were, there's no reason for you to risk staying here. I saw the scene of chaos on my way back. It was bedlam. People were fighting over the tiniest things. Sometimes nothing at all. Others seemed to be stuck where they stood, like statues. Just like the specters who fought the Victorians with us. They fade into darkness too. This is not CRC. Red Dragon's lair, capital of Tara. Anything that happens here will have repercussions across the nation. No, it won't. You don't sound convinced. Your Highness, Your Highness, I don't think a nuh-uh is gonna fix this. At the end of the day, I have just one question. One question I pray you will answer, and not with like a nuh-uh or something. Very well. I will forgive your impudence. Your Highness Eblana, that future you promised Dublin, you promised Tara, that future where all Tarans could freely write their own dreams. Was it all a lie? The breeder cannot stop himself from trembling. The fear that had lurked in his heart for days overcomes him. Not because he fears his own end, he is not afraid of being swallowed by the dark mist like his colleagues or of evoking the Red Dragon's wrath. He fears that he will hear an answer he dare not consider. It was true, every word of it. Your Highness, I have answered your question, Brigadier. The dragon's voice seems ethereal, evil even, but it leaves no room for questioning. This is not normally the expression I associate with feeble, but I'll take your word for it. Hypergriff, I'll take your word for it. Is the voice that's led the men to victory countless times, and so he slowly straightens his back. Then I trust you. Perhaps you simply have no other choice. Often have you chosen a path that seems baffling, impossible even, but always ends up leading us closer to our dream. Of that I have no doubt. Such deep trust is indeed worthy of my gratitude. However, I do not require you to maintain order within CRC. If you manage to return from the Darkwoods, then you should return there now. Until Samhain has passed. Or I stepped into the Darkwoods one more and call into the mists of war. Your Highness, do you hear the song coming from beyond the woods? Hardly a day has passed since you left. Fine work, Laushani. Oh, okay. Oh, there's the expression I saw. The most, like, carefree, genuinely happy smile, I think. Is this the first time? I think this might be the first time we've seen this Eblana sprite. You can voice act so good. Please tell me. I've been training, auditioning, and working on this for years. Let me think. At this point, probably 3.5 over that, probably. So a lot of coaching, practicing, auditioning, getting work, doing it. Just, in general, kind of just a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit, Hank. A lot of stuff. Like with anything else, you know, you kind of gotta, you kind of gotta get out and do it, but you also kind of need direction. Yeah. A lot of time, money, frustration, accomplishment, a lot of all of it is what you need for improvement of anything. Yeah, look at her smile. You also say, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Vo. Like, look at that smile. What a precious smile. What a sweet smile. Look at how adorable she is. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Hank. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah. And I mean, definitely, like, one thing as well, if you, like, happen to, like, want to, you know, work on doing voice work yourself, like, one thing to just, like, start out, you can honestly pop on, like, if there's an Arknights event that you want to read, just, like, pop on to, like, the story reader and just read it out loud the way I do on these streams. Just reading out loud, honestly, before you even start the acting, you kind of, if you want to do voice work, you kind of have to just get used to reading out loud. Because most of us, like, once you get past, like, I don't know, middle school, high school, you haven't really read out loud much at all. You kind of got to get used to it. I still, like, I saw on these streams get my words twisted up in some of these sentences, so. Yeah. It is laughy. It's literally just a fucking little big smile. Is that what's happening in the city? Reed, your sister. What is she planning? I don't know. Someone once told me that her plans would only ever be beneficial to Tara. Now, though, I can trust neither here. You're the one who made that promise. Are you still not gonna help her, awake woman? She came for a funeral. We will only accept her for that. I have learned the deeds of the departed. Bring the knots and wreaths and come outside. The funeral is about to begin. Play cards against someday. Yeah, it's fun to do. Yeah. I'm a voice people can do. And I mean, everything that I can do, I couldn't do immediately. Honestly, this has re-inspired me to work on the Irish accent more, because the Irish accent is one that a couple of times I tried to work on with a coach of mine, like a good while ago, like a year or two ago, probably more like 2 years ago. I tried it a couple times and I ended up stopping to focus on other things because it was just not like working out for me. But you know, this is better, and probably honestly could probably learn Scottish first and then bring some of the elements of that, because they've got some similarities, some differences. All the Anglo ones have similarities and differences. That's why when I wasn't very good, tell me you couldn't naturally do a Donald Trump voice. I don't think my Donald impression is still very good. I think, but then again, more when you're doing something like the Donald. If you're doing an impersonation, honestly, a lot of the time it's more about the pace, the isms of whatever person you're. Like if you're doing the Donald, you gotta talk about how something's the best, and you gotta kind of bring all your French sentences down. And sometimes, you know, if you're describing something, you describe it like you just walked into a room and it's like the first 3 things you saw. Saw people, lots of people, very good people. Like that type of thing. Or like that's some of the thing with like impersonations and that type of thing sometimes, where it's the voice print, if you can do it, great, but the part that really sells it is, do you know how to talk like them? Essentially, do you know what the pace is? Do you know what their isms are? Do you know what their like the lulls and everything in the voice are? A lot of things. Anyways, the people set aside their differences, stand up in silence, stepped in the dark woods one morn, calling to the mists of war, trod upon the road, heading out to war. No pipes a singing, no battle drums a roar, only the bells behind me, for dew and fog their rings do soar. Wakemen sing softly, each attending to their own duty. Some adorn the coffin with knots and wreaths, some like firewood and kindling around it. Some distribute candles to the attending refugees as they continue to sing. Tiny lights speed their way through the camp. Ashini has a candle too, which he carefully lilts in front of her chest. Gotta hide the little flint, just has like an unlit candle and she's just like holding it super close to her chest so it looks like... Was I in school though? Yeah. You can definitely like practice things, Hank. I would definitely recommend looking into like workshops at least, because you can find like workshops that are like $5 to like $5 to $10 to sit in on, and that's a lot cheaper than like, for example, like, you know, coaching, probably like one-on-one, you're talking like 50 to 100 maybe an hour, which it's very worth it if you can get that money. It's very worth it because there's a lot of good stuff you can learn. But definitely you are limited without doing any kind of like organized coaching. It's just, I mean, it's like anything else. Like you think about, oh well, if you want to learn to play the piano, you need piano lessons, you know. Athletes in every like sport, even professional athletes, you got coaches, and generally like sports with various positions, you have guys for specific positions as well. Like shit, it's like there's very, like anything else, you kind of have to, how to say it? Like with anything else, you really have to, you need a little guidance, or it's difficult to really get your start, because you won't be able to tell very easily what exactly did the stream just goddamn die? Don't tell me the stream just died. That'd be so sad. Chat, did the stream die? Oh, please tell me the stream didn't die. I was having a good conversation. Assuming the stream didn't die, and this is just like YouTube just randomly kicking like, and YouTube didn't just randomly kick like 10 people out of my chat for no reason. No, the stream didn't die. Okay, good. Yeah, like you really want that direction, and if you don't have especially if you don't have like an acting background, you really want to find something. You really want to find, again, like a good place to look is like workshops. There's like I think like Red Scythe Studios is like as despite the edgy name, they have a lot of they have a lot of workshops by professionals, and like to sit in is like $20 in a lot of them. Anywhere from like 20, maybe up to 50, maybe down to 10 or 15. There you can find affordable ones and start like learning some lessons and just, yeah, figuring things out. But I would definitely say if you're like just starting out, get used to reading out loud. Read some things out loud first, and then kind of work on that stuff, because you want to read out loud at least a little bit first to get back to comfortable doing that, or it'll be really annoying to start. Anyways, chat, as is common, as is tradition, it is time for my first piss break, as I have been drinking a lot of water. It is time for piss break 1, and you know what that means. You know what that means. Who's ready for your Minecraft parkour engagement video? You guys know what it means when I'm not here. You all know what this means. Let's find one. All right, let's put this up for you guys. All right, boom, look at that. All right, I'll be back in a moment. For now, enjoy your Minecraft. Yup. Enjoy your Minecraft, and I'll be back in a moment. All right, look at that chat. We got a nice quick piss out of the way. Huge. Yeah, okay. Well, good to know that like the stream didn't like crash or anything, because like my like YouTube Studio page for like the stream that like shows like, oh, stream health, chat rate, views, and everything has like, oh yeah, here it's like consistently at 8, and then it just drops to 0, and it shows still at 0 on the analytics, but it shows like current viewers 6, concurrent viewers 6, like under the title. I don't know. It's insane. Excuse me. Go ahead. I didn't know the departed, and don't really have much to say, but where I grew up, people talk freely at funerals. Certainly. This is how Terrans honor the departed. Life should be celebrated, and after its end, joy of the living is consolation for the dead. You are free to talk amongst each other. I also made some snacks. Please feel free to share them. We will also provide refreshments later. However, We must request that you exercise restraint, considering that Mr. Kulan died before his time and under unfortunate circumstances. We must also ask you to follow our instructions during the fire returning ceremony. Understood. Is this how your folks hold funerals, Morin? We didn't have all these rites and ceremonies. All we did was keep watch through the night. No clue what this fire returning thing is either. Guess we just follow our instructions. You ever been a part of a ceremony like this, Reed? I see. Hello, Atomsk. Oh. I just like for a moment like almost like gained sentience of like what the backing track was, and I'm like, man, is there a single event in Arknights that doesn't have this track at some point? This track is so ubiquitous with the story. You mean... Leshni's found the wakeman. The hero's funeral's begun. I stepped into the dark woods one morn, calling to the mists of ore. I trod upon the road heading out to war. Do you know this song? You already know the answer. I lead the young into battle with it more than a few times. Ooh, oh yeah, I forgot for this guy. Who is it who's singing? Why is it that I still hear the song here at the side of the old capital even after escaping the dark woods? Or am I still stuck in the woods? No, no, the sound is coming from the furnace at the center of the ruins. Such a beautiful tune. No pipes are singing, no battle drums are roar. Only the bells behind me through dew and fog, their rings do soar. I should go back. Now I see what I truly want. Besides, do I really deserve to escape now? Say, oh, see. And maybe there's a producer back in Nassau Sea. There's no producers out in the woods. How am I gonna get discovered for the hidden talent I am? So hear you singing this sort of music? Yeah. Yeah, like we like the kind of the bit for the singer is that he like constantly sings and then just like at the end of like the line just ask, is there a producer around? Anyone know a producer? He actually just wants to be like a fucking pop singer or something, but it's just like there's no one around. There's not a single like studio in the entirety of like Tara for him. Here, Emma, today's bread. Thank you for sharing your food in times like these. Shared with me before, just return the favor. But why do you keep staring at the bread in my hand like that? Control yourself. Control yourself. Emma, I want to share bread with you. You must help her. You must. I'm fine, Emma. I just meant to say you've been ridden for so long, it'll be tough times ahead. No pipes are singing, nor battle drums are roar. Why are you singing that? Someone's singing in the distance. They can all hear it. He will find a producer by the end of the event, thank God. Free my mans. He just wants to sing. I'm just like every time I do those things, I'm like those lines. I'm like putting two fingers over like one of my headphones, the way that like the like classic like almost like motif, like someone's singing, they put like the like fingers over one ear, like while they're singing. It's like that. Friends of the departed, please present your eulogy before the fire returning ceremony begins. Read? I have a eulogy here, written by Nemos. May I read it? Of course. Go ahead. Dear Kulan, a letter. Kulan, perhaps it won't be long before I join ye. Kulan, perhaps it won't be long before I join ye. Before I become a slave of the purple flame, before I turn to ash. Perhaps there won't be anyone to free me from an afterlife of eternal torment. But I've never forgotten what she said to me. You said you wanted to be a hero. You asked me to let you become one. You said now Siorsi needed a hero for the post-war days. One who belonged only to us. Or the Dublin. No soldier. You said that nearly everyone in the city had lost something important in the war. Be it a partner, a child, or a future. Without a hero, an exemplar to understand them,
and fight for their rights. One who would also set them right when they go astray. Without that, you won't have anything to hold on to when the war ends. They have no one left to hate. I agreed and assented to your request. He took Theo in and helped the people who've lost their livelihoods. He took everything. Was on the right path. You thought everything was on the right path, and so you proposed the statue. You became fully immersed and took on the great burden. By the time you realized, it was too late. Now it's my turn to carry this burden. One too heavy for any single person to bear. This is what she asked for. Heavy is the crown.
What is the gist of this storyline? Laushani, or Reed's sister Eblana, has founded like Tara, and this is like the capital city now. CRC is like where most of this is taking place. The main problem is everybody in the city is like infested with Eblana's evil death fire, and the city's basically like a bunch of living dead. It's kind of fucked up, and Laushani basically wants to like cure the city, cure her almost. Try to save all of it and not have it be a bunch of dead people, and have all of everything done to make Tara independent not really matter. Because I mean everybody's just dead. If Reed can't succeed in this, then everybody is kind of just dead. Like, it's kind of fucked. We're cooked. Like, Tara's cooked. Reading about the living dead, living reign with the living dead. I don't know what's next. It's crazy. You know, when you think about it, we read the Sami story, and like, you know, the like snow that kind of like snows upwards and almost has a mind of its own. You know, that's a different kind of living precipitation. You know, my arch nemesis, living blizzard, always trying to freeze my living rain.
It is time for me to carry this burden. One too heavy for any single person to bear. Farewell, Kulan. Shlan Lat. What should I say?
Shlan go for hell.
This is the native language of the area. One that I don't know. May we meet again in the warm flames. The warm flames.
She finishes. The flame is thrown into the kindling surrounding the coffin, igniting the firewood. The crowd gathers around the bonfire, following the instructions of the wakeman.
Witness the departed.
Witness that the departed has found peace in flames.
He shall no longer wander the mortal realm. Place your candle as close to the fire as possible. Throw it in directly. Return the fire to the departed. If you have anything to say to the departed, say it aloud to the flame. Be it praise or reproach, they are the memories that will console the departed at journey's end. Once you have returned the fire, please remain to keep watch over his soul, till the fire has gone out. Let us begin. Lanleat, may you find rest, stranger.
Here's the little thing. I really do like the way that they do these ones, specifically because like it is digital, but you can see the brush strokes. It's very interesting. Hey, Kulan already died. Yep, the Tom's he did. See ya, Hank. Bye. But living avalanche instead, it makes even less sense. You know? Blizzard, indeed, Blizzard. Laffy, from like the character from the C Squad, who not sure if we have any people who plan on watching C Squad but haven't watched the most recent. If that's you, don't listen to the next few seconds. I really hope that that Skorak leaves White Streak dead. It would be so fucking like. You heart of the cards that you flip a coin. We lost the coin flip 3 times in a row. She's dead. Like just let it go. Just let it go. Okay, come on now. Let it go.
Deceiver and hero.
Morin bends down and places her candle by the fire. The licking flames swallow it in an instant, almost burning her hand.
You want to come close to the fire, Reed? If there's anyone here who doesn't deserve to pay respects to Kulan, it would be me. You couldn't have saved him. Morin? There was no place for him in the Red Dragon's lair from the moment he made the choice to truly become a hero. You should return the fire to him. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Let the dead rest with our memories. Life goes on. Return the fire. Let the dead rest with our memories as life goes on. While Lashni is lost in thought, the others continue to return their fire and sit down some distance from the bonfire until she is the only one left with a candle in her hand. She walks forward in silence, tosses the candle into the blazing bonfire. Dead or gone, while their ambition, obsession, realization, and desperation turn to fading smoke, silent ash in the flames. And it's almost whimsical. I was talking more the general background style, because I would think it's all the same person, because you can see the brushstrokes even if you look at like some of the, like the rocks in this. You can see the brushstrokes in like everything, like every background, like CG, and I really like it. I think it's cool and distinct. Digital brushstrokes you can see. So you won't go to the city, even to perform a fire returning ceremony? What you've described is highly unusual. We cannot simply take your word that the residents are no longer among the living. Besides, the fire returning ceremony is just that. Ceremony. Not expected to be anything more than that. Very well then. You may return, weak woman. Thank you for your help. You intend to go back to Nasi, even without us? Morin and the others have settled in well, and I've done what was entrusted to me, so my work here is done. Take care, Your Highness. I will. The Red Dragon sets out in the direction from whence she came. Everything that happened yesterday seems but a distant shadow now, but also a tiny spark of flame. Return the fire. Have you made up your mind to go to your death? The stranger. Good timing, sir. May we talk? If you will help me. Did your Red Dragon history lessons ever teach you about a poor wretch by the name of Labrithak? Excuse me? I'll take that as a no. After returning to his palace for the first time in years, he never even had the chance to see his brother, where the guards took him away and plunged a sword through his chest. I know the story. And why are you so eager to follow in his footsteps and have history remember you as a fool? Leave. You've seen your sister and you're still alive, and that you've already achieved more than he ever did. The story of Labrithak and Ailil, not the story of me and Eblana. Fine. Let's say I was willing to hear you out. What do you want to talk about? The city's fire returning ceremony. I just wanted to find someone to help with the preparations, but you seem to know a lot about the history and tales of Tara. I was thinking you might be able to help. History? Tales? We can talk on the way. Come. But that's not the way to the Dark Woods. Just follow me. Worked out for you in the woods, didn't it? The ruins of the palace? I've been here before. It's dangerous. The originium rich environment is. You said you wanted history and tales. A better place in Tara than this. than this fucking palace. Yeah, the what palace? Never mind. I appreciate you helping the woods, but I have important business to attend to. I don't have time to. What's this important business? Dying for nothing? Sure, you're different from your sister. That dragon's flames may be cursed, but her personality is as typical as they come. Arrogant, leaving no room for any other voice. You may be better, but I'm different from my sister, but she's not who you say she is. So however different you may be, conflicts in the nature of the Red Dragons, even if you were merely dragged into it. And there's only ever one outcome. Only one may emerge alive. One of you will die sooner or later. So what's the hurry? Have patience, young dragon. We're almost there. One of you will get fucking stabbed, so like chill, my dude, relax. Settle the fuck down. We come here for this altar. Altar? You mean that thing in the middle? Isn't that the furnace? The furnace which fused together the weapons of every Terran soldier and overturned the fate of the dynasty. Furnace from which fallen soldiers were reborn. That's what you call it today, isn't it? Far more than just another altar, to be sure, but an altar is an altar, even if it's a little bigger than the others. Based on the ceremonial stone circle used to coronate the King Gael, and the palace was built around it. Whenever an old red dragon died, when the fire was returned to them. The fire? Returned? What you saw back at the woods, back at those Woodbrains camp, gotta give them credit. They managed to remember all that, even centuries later. Fire returning wasn't just about a bonfire back in the day, though. By the time the old hag Mega did, it was enough for the siblings of the heir that
The title of King Guile to put their hands in the fire and get a few blisters. Go back even further though, and those siblings would have been burned alive together. Or so they say. There's no hard evidence. Now you've gone even paler. Do you not like my story about children burning alive? What's wrong with you? He flicks his hand, and a speck of purple fire flies forth from his sleeve, joining the purple fire in the altar. Flames breathe quietly. An infant in its mother's embrace.
Your flame is purple too. No, wait. You're a Draco. The GB.
Awfully slow, aren't you? Well, it's too late to run. Put your hand in.
What?
You want Nassar Sea to return its fire, didn't you? Put your hand in. The dragon falls silent and stretches out her hand to touch the flame in the furnace. She suspected it's not warm, but to her surprise, it does not feel cold either. Oh, pressure to see something. Tries the Yatsara. The old repeat of the red dragons. It's simply the cruel cycle of fate repeating itself again and again. Like your sister, I was an aberration that breathed the flames of death. Not my intention to disrespect the dead, or could I ever, even if I wanted to, but I wanted to show you the fate of those who die upon this land. Is this where we should begin? Understandable. Of all of recent events, it's the most significant. Your sister was right. Those who have touched the flames of death are beyond help, yet the fire should not have spread so readily. Hatred did it take for the Dracos to once again sire an ill-omened aberration, the first in 600 years. This is an image from the 4th chapter. So you know she isn't German, that's just your average German bedtime story, true. Das Kinder love this one. Then Tim. If you ask me, he slept in far too late. Could hardly drag himself out of bed by sunset. Of course, he became the sacrifice.
Even ye should not speak of the dead so lightly. Do not justify it as a sacrifice.
You only say that because you've seen too little. Those feelings will pass soon enough once you're used to it. See? Here comes another sacrifice. Them.
Victorians who killed you have been chased out. The last Victorian bastard died before my eyes.
Hence, your sister's dreams did become reality. The Irons have risen. Victorians have fallen. Simple, direct, satisfying.
But ye, one of the bystanders too.
Don't get caught up on that, child. You know what I am. This I don't recognize. Explain.
It was a war.
There are always wars. Be specific. Who did she incinerate? What land did she set her sights on?
Victoria. Eblana wanted to take Tara back from the Aslans. This was the conclusion to that war.
Aslans. Those conceited bastards. And is she not facing a Sarkaz? Never mind. The Lions are the ones who stole Victoria. That's all I need to know. Oh my god, it's her versus fucking Dead Boy. I don't need you to tell me what this is, just so I can tell the expression beneath the mask. The satisfaction and joy that only appear on a red dragon's visage in the face of certain death.
No, it wasn't joy. It was the opposite.
The opposite. Maybe you were simply gravely injured and started hallucinating on the brink of death. But as I said, this is simply repeating the past. These may ride on wheels now, and the master of the realm has changed hands, but what's inside never changes. Some of the stuff, Eblana from the first, from like chapter 9 and everything, and when elegies are ashes here. What is this? Your own? You're gonna point your blades at each other. Who's this man?
The Earl of Warwick, her foster father. Eblana said he helped the Terran see hope. A hope that they could see but never reach. But all he ever did was drive thirsty travelers mad with mirages. In his hands he held a delicate thread. On one end were the Terrans, who rediscovered their name. On the other end lay the oppressors who had trodden upon them for so long. The thread, my sister and I. Looking back, perhaps he was the first to be afflicted by the purple flame.
Well, you sympathize with your sister, but you also know her well. No wonder why you're so loath to kill her.
But I have no intention of becoming like her, nor will I simply allow myself to be killed. These events, this history you had me recall, what are you trying to tell me?
And the history of Tsara is nothing but a continuous accumulation and recombination of ruins of the past. What you've seen, I have seen too. Nothing new can be found within.
What I see are not ruins, but the source of the flames. The flames in Nausea Sea are indeed my sister's fire, but they are also the great sorrow behind the bloodshed, left with nowhere to go. It was the war, no, the pain, the oppression, things taken from them, which began long before the war. That's what lit the fire in their hearts. My sister shaped their sorrow into hatred, which scorched the fields of Tara and drove out the Victorians. However, without vengeance to cloak the sorrow, that same fire has come back to burn them, burning away everything they have, till they're nothing but the walking dead.
Fine summary, child. You really think that returning the fire would solve all the city's problems?
It's the only path before me.
True, but how do you tread it? Come, we've seen your story. Now see mine. Don't cry now. It's just a cloud beast.
But I raised Greyclaw from when she was a baby. I see your fire is different, Heidi. You not heal the living, but instead bring the dead back to life.
They don't come back. Just an empty shell.
Even if it's just an empty shell, please, Eddie. I just want to hear Greyclaw's voice again.
So the impulsive red dragon let his daughter's plea get the better of his judgment. For a few months, strange things began to happen, not just the cloud beast, but to all the beasts of the pasture. Fern beast no longer ate, City beast no longer gave milk, the old refused to die, the young refused to live, and bare skeletons devoid of flesh began to roam the pastures. Rural fire spread through the herds. The red dragon was forced to leave the pasture with his people. Made the same mistake many times throughout his brief existence.
The purple fire spread through the herds?
What about it? Your own dear sister dared to burn people with that same fire? Now that's crazy.
How was the fire extinguished?
Find out soon enough.
This is the citadel in Nausea Sea, that same corridor.
No, but your mistake is understandable. He simply took a large step back in time. How the palace you currently stand in looked 600 years ago. Incredible how stonemason centuries hence managed to perfectly recreate it in this Nausea Sea of yours. It's really convenient because our artist doesn't have to draw something. At least the first thing you thought of was League and not Arcane. That's how you know you're not actually cooked, Laffy. You're cool. If you thought of Arcane, then you would have been cooked. Then you should have been ashamed.
What happened here?
Here, huh? Labyrinth Hawk, the fool, had made too many mistakes. The likes of which you've already seen. He was weak and felt his end coming. The eve of Samhain, he came to see the brother he had not seen for 20 years, bearing the finest gifts his nomadic life would allow. He convinced the Druid of the city oversaw the festival ceremonies to take him to his brother. Touched by his familial love, they led him into the city. He failed to realize when his guide's silhouette, voice, and demeanor changed. Not until it was too late, he was taken to this very corridor and... I doubt that Lil, who gave the order to assassinate his brother, was on that balcony on the other side of the door, for eyes were wide open until the very end, but I never saw his fire through the gaps. Where did it all go wrong? Was he angry that the priest continued to treat me as royalty? He considered me leaving without a word 20 years ago, betrayal. There's someone else who wanted me dead. He simply had no choice. I'll never know. In this brief, swift act of violence, there was only one thing that I had long known that I had never doubted. Red Dragon never forgives. Hatred of the dragon's even longer than the history of Tara. And here is bro. I mean, cool piece. I like the silhouette of red on the shutting doors. There's more I want to tell you. After I died, Lil ordered my coffin dragged through the city for all to see the end that befell me. So the purple fire raged through every pasture I had stayed with it, my clan. Life turned its back on all who touched it. Only death remained. 7 days later, the priest returned my fire to me at a clearing outside the dark woods. And only when the fire returned to me was extinguished did the purple flames of the pastures begin to subside. Only then that the last vestige of my consciousness that remained in the flames after death faded into darkness. All living things touched the flames, people or beasts were her dash. Your sister spoke true. Flames will continue to spread as long as she lives. She's a typical red dragon. She's not so noble as to give up her life to save those who have yet to survive. She's inviting you back, then it's certainly a trap. Run, call for help, yell. Find someone who's equal to extinguish the endlessly spreading flames. That's the only way.
But what if she already has decided that I'm the only one worthy to dance with her? What if I can't abandon their lives in the city to their fates, as long as there's any chance of saving them?
You'll return the fire to someone who's still alive?
Yes.
And what if that doesn't work?
Regardless, I'm going back, no matter what.
Silence. And Lauschnier's a sigh. But stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary. We're so hashtag back. We're gonna hashtag get out our Rizzlers, Skibbity, yeah, YouTube shorts, John Pork, low tapered fade. Am I right, gamers? Oh, I gotta stretch a little. Damn, all this reading is just such a weight. The burden I bear for the Arknights community. Reading. Very difficult. I know. Very few in this community would do this, would read all the events, but mankind doesn't get anywhere by playing it safe. Some of us have to be the guinea pigs. Go the places no one wants to go. Like being an Arknights fan and learning to read. Chat, I have to piss again, but don't worry. We still got your engagement video. I'll be back in a moment. Been really straight up drinking this shit. Straight drinking it right now. Alrighty. I'm need a moment. I got a little sugar, hopefully gonna pep me up a little. Oh, okay. Alright. Alright, we can move you off Minecraft parkour. Okay. Ugh. Man, we still have a ways to go. These are not super short chapters. These later stories, compared to like the earlier ones, like man, earlier events, so much quicker. Our stories have expanded. They've become longer.
This is far enough. We're already at the Wakeman camp.
Your sister roused me from my slumber. You can always return me to it with your own flames if you want. Raid! The golden-haired Perro leaps off the back of a burn beast and rushes toward the red dragon. Ray's dragging an improvised cart with numerous long wooden boxes stacked upon it.
Cricket, what are you doing here? What are those? Coffins?
Yeah, coffins. Emma said to bring him to the Whiteman. Are they still in the ruins? Say, is there someone with you? I can smell the same burn and stink, and I swear I heard you talking just now.
No. Oh, no. I'm alone.
Oh,
No, I'm alone. These are
dead folks. The top who'd pull their own arms out of their sockets to bite at their imaginary enemies if you grab their hand, along with poor wretches they tore to pieces. And Theo, Emos found him in the end. It's almost like this was the natural order of things. Bonfires will be burning brightest when night falls on Samhain. Red Dragon looks towards Nasir Sea and sees a faint shadow in the distance, painting the silhouette of the purple flames.
You'll be out of coffins if this keeps up. I hope Brigand made out of the city, but the mist in the woods is thin enough for her to follow the trail. Last, there can only a few unused weapons in this house. I can't let anyone see them. This fuel. Explosives? Slash, he might find a use for them. No, what's the point when every servant in the Citadel has already been afflicted by the purple flames? Besides, the Greedy Red Dragon's already sent them away. Almost as if she's preparing for a showdown with her highness? Or setting a trap? Who's there? Rory, what are you doing here? Or Emos? Yes, I'm going through Killan's effects. If this is urgent, could I ask you to... Traitor!
Oh no. Yeah, the story's long enough. I don't feel that way, Laffy. I think the stories feel a lot of the time natural in their length. I think most people just want instant gratification and don't want to sit down for longer. They want their stories to be super short and snappy. Like with most things. I mean, like for example, there's a lot of games right now that are like struggling with the fact that they're hard to learn and people don't want to learn them. Like fighting games are struggling to get new people to play. League, Dota, MOBAs, StarCraft. A lot of these games are struggling to get more people to play, and like you can just make another game like Marvel Rivals and you'll just immediately get people. There's something in us modern motherfuckers, a lot of us do not want to learn something. We just want to sit down and be able to do it well immediately. When it comes to games, it's like, well, you can either sit down and like learn League and it'll take a while, or you can go play fucking Marvel Rivals and like half the characters hold your hand and like kind of force you to at least do something decently. So like WASD controls come into League. Now granted, will that actually make new people play? I don't think so. At least not very much. I think it will just alienate the crowd who already play. Traitor.
Have you gone mad? Oh, silly me. Of course you have. We all have.
Traitor. Nah.
I still can't bring myself to kill them, even if they might as well be dead already. Ah ha 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 ha. I'd better drag this fellow back home and do without the unwanted attention. Ew.
Nemos. Don't mind me. I'll be on my way.
What's that in your hand?
Oh, nothing. Now if you'll excuse me.
That necklace. Gift from Niels to Emma.
I gave her bread. It's more valuable than jewelry in times like these. She gave it to me.
Did she now? A necklace that she never takes off?
It's none of your business.
Nemos, you stayed behind? Oh, I thought all the doublers left the city. Don't tell me you're one of those living statues now who refuses to move or talk. I might be soon. Why did you bring them up? Samhain begins tonight, so I went through the houses of the missing people and found plenty of good stuff for the party tonight. Samhain? Party? About Kulan? Well, he was already on his last legs by then. I didn't really... Let's not talk about that. Look at all this stuff. It'll be a night to remember. The woman shows Nemos her bag, revealing a bottle of curdled sissy milk, a few long since spread up potatoes, and several bare bones. Just wait for me, Nemos, Kulan. We'll have a fantastic Samhain. Only when the woman has already disappeared around the corner does Nemos remember who she is. A villager who once lived on the outskirts of Naseorshi. 2 years ago, the Victorians took her father away while investigating Dublin. The autumn harvest had just ended, and they were preparing to celebrate the harvest festival. Lashni hears about the situation in the city exceeds her wildest imagination. I must head back. Now. Or wait for me. I'll come with once I've delivered these folks to the Wakeman. Oh, you shut up.
And trying to do the fucking yesterday in Dublin was in English as the Liberties version. Oh, okay. Interesting. It is hard to switch between like Lashni and like Brigid now that they're like talking. Like this is the thing with like the, considering I'm so used to the Australian, every like English or like or just generally British accent becomes the Australian.
Are you sure about this, Brigid? It's dangerous in the city. If I fail, there may be no survivors.
True, but still gotta go.
Why?
Because it wasn't like this before. The city folk never had much to spare, but they always had a cup of water for me when I delivered the letters. They didn't see me as one of their own, but didn't walk away with a sneer when I told them no man legends either. They listened. They definitely didn't bite, claw, and punch at people like they do these days, with the Walking Dead straight from a story. Will the nomads deliver letters for if the city dies for real?
Warren. The second shipment of bodies has arrived from Naseorshi. I must make the preparations. At this rate, it won't be long until the third, fourth, or more. Are we really going to ignore it? As I've told you many times, the Wakemen do not take sides. It is not our decision to make. Are the Naseorsians not Tarans too? Why are we standing on the side watching when the Taran capital is marching towards destruction? I know you came back with the Red Dragon. You fear she'll meet the same fate as Labhirhirhachtach.
This salty about an NPC dying in Arknights? Yeah. Man, what's the NPC death that thinking about that made me the most salty? Because there's sad ones like the classic Frost Nova. Her story is just kind of tragic. I'm trying to think like salty where it's like, fuck! No!
But we were the ones to send Labarehach to his doom. You! We are descended from the priest that once officiated the ceremonies of Tara's royal palace. Our ancestors, moved by Labarehach's plea, welcomed him back in the palace, when Alil's stance was ambivalent. The flames of death that spread through the plains of Tara were only extinguished 7 days after his death, when our ancestors finally returned his fire to him. They then left the palace of their own accord, going into self-exile on Labarehach's former pastures. Just never forget to listen. Thus, Wakemen were born.
Like the 10 others I can count. He's like the only guy in Tara. I was saying earlier, he would tell great tales of what sunlight looked like to everybody else in Ireland. Everybody else over here in Tara.
But Reed isn't Labarehach, and history is not a cycle that repeats itself endlessly. If it were, Reed would have already died in that citadel, even if her tyrant of her sister was the one to free Tara from Victorian rule. Fates are often alike, but always differ where it matters most. Fates are often alike, but always differ when it matters most. What a wonderful tagline for the cover of the book. Surely this one is destined for the bestseller charts. Assuming, of course, that you're ever able to finish the story. Never intended to profit off of it. Oh, you will, if it's not in money, then in fame. Base of the story, where it happened. There are more than enough reasons this isn't my story to tell. Besides, what happens next?
That's what I wanted to ask. Did Laushani go back? From this point on, what I've seen, what I believe, and what I've said all contradict one another. I've lost sight of the ending. Feel free to take up the challenge if you're up to it. This dance between the dragon and reflection, whatever ending you please. Oh? Is it all the same if I tell it to myself? Of course, ma'am, as you will it. Ryder raises his mug, which is almost empty now, and toasts the woman before it. He swallows the bitter brew, half expecting the sweet aftertaste that he knows will never come. Did I spook you? You got so polite all of a sudden. It makes me feel impertinent for even pressing the question. No, but I must make it abundantly clear that everything we've discussed until now is no more than idle chatter. You understand, don't you? The woman sits straight and does not say a word. I can only attempt to guess whether she is still smiling through the shadows. Well, what are you waiting for? Can I finish my drink? I've fallen into the same conundrum as you. This is as far as both your references and your imagination go. How could I possibly put the Red Dragon's ultimate fate to paper? I've already said all I'm able to. I refuse to give the story an entirely fictional end. One that not even I can believe in. If the alternative is that there is no ending. If you don't have an answer either, there's no need to waste your time here. Even while it's still early. Is this because you do not remember, do not understand? This is because you wish you never knew, never understood. What? What are you getting at? You've never lost sight of the ending. It would be more appropriate to say that your eyes have become clouded by too many creative liberties that account them for you. Treasures leading people into darkness. One dragging a statue to the square by himself. Virtually everything related to the dark mist in the woods. From the rejection of Brigade to the food carts returned to the city on their own. The Laushani becoming lost in the woods. The Brigadier and Eblana's meeting in the city. If these creative liberties have created the contradictions in your mind, it's my responsibility to set them on a path towards the ending. Will I supplement the story with my own observations? I'll take that as a yes. Perhaps they'll lead you to a conclusion you can be satisfied with. Where did you leave off? Ah yes, on the eve of Samhain, while the sun still hung in the sky. Samhain nights bind the life with death. It is no mere superstition, or perhaps you could say it has long transcended superstition. Fair and legend speak of countless great deeds and tragedies occurring on this very night. Such tales often put the date front and center. So long as innumerable legends coincide on that day, so long as the tyrants still remember, if only vaguely, to celebrate the harvest and light up the fires on that day, it'll never be a simple change of season. It itself is the perfect footnote to add to any myth. Oh, and another thing. I don't suppose you'd mind if I gave the characters more fitting names, yes? Sun is leaning westward. Have we yet to figure out how to go about this final confrontation? Ashini, why are you hiding in your room at dinner time again? And here's the little Draco sprites. I like to read as her little flowers. Just quite literally burn that dream to flames, burn that dream to ashes even.
Is Dad angry?
No, but he will be soon.
I'll be down soon.
What's that on your desk?
Nothing.
The younger red dragon tries to block her sister's line of sight with her body, but her effort is in vain. A small paper box sits on her desk, carefully lined with cotton. Inside lies a tiny foul beast. Already dead, but still harboring a faint, lingering warmth. It had broken its leg while alive. An unsuccessful splint, fashioned from stiff paper, now lies in pieces around it, accompanied by a few grains of wheat.
This is the foul beast that sang at my window every morning. I don't know what happened to it, but I wanted to save it, and I beg of you, sister. For that, I'm only feeling ill. I'll be on time for dinner tomorrow. We're right in the courtyard tonight.
So you're giving up?
It's already dead.
Is that so?
Is that so?
Rothline slipped past the Falby's feathers into its already cold body. He watches it slowly stands up, its broken leg stiffly propping itself up on the cotton.
All right. Would you like it to fly, or to sing a song for you? No, it isn't right. Not like this. Then why didn't you use your own flames on it while it was still alive? Your Felbies could have lived a much longer life. You do realize you aren't limited to how the mediocre masses do things, are ye? Don't ye, I suppose? Mom told me to swallow my flames, hide them away, and never let them be seen.
And who would see them in your own room? Young dragon looks away to avoid her sister's eyes, but finds her gaze landing on the Falby, standing on its cotton bed instead. A roll of fire burns in its eyes. The way it tilts its head is a fitting image of her sister. We perhaps still harbor unrealistic fantasies about how this could end.
Sister, you're covered in blood. Were you injured?
Most of it isn't mine. They do expire bled profusely.
I'll replace your bandages.
Where is the Earl of Warwick?
He has work to do.
Yes, so he says, and as always, you take him at his word. Even allowed despite to discuss poetry with you while he works.
I thought I'd been keeping Mama. I thought I'd been keeping Mum about her origins, as well as anything related to the Earl's vision.
Everyone in this manor knows you never say a word more than necessary. There has never been something the Earl would bother to check. That's right. Had we let the spy escape, the Earl would still inevitably find a way to silence him in the dark. Simply find ourselves bound by another chain called caution.
I'm sorry,
There's no need for you to apologize. Apologies! I've never changed a thing. Once packed with a guest, the long empty parlor's acoustics now amplify the sound of the bandages being ripped apart, making the atmosphere even heavier. That's pretty fair to say. Apologies are kind of more for the person apologizing than the person they're apologizing to a lot of the time. With the whole, it's easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission and such. Once packed with guests, the long, empty parlor's acoustics now amplify the sound of bandages being ripped apart, make the atmosphere almost heavier. Those poems by that Seamus Williams you've been so into. If you can remember them, why not recite a line or two for me? The noble red dragon racks her brain for a verse that would not rouse her sister's rage. Perhaps something related to Tara, brave warrior in ancient legends, but all she can recall are verses that stand aloof from worldly affairs.
The land is but a strange romance, the cause of its end lost to chance ill. I am but a wandering bard, well versed in lore from songs in the woods.
Sneaks a peek at her sister's face and sees no change, so she plucks up her courage and continues to recite more lines. And when she finishes both the entire poem and the new bandages with a delicate nod, as she realizes that her sister has already fallen asleep, circled by meter and rhyme. Or perhaps...
Sister!
Ah, Larshani, you've kept me waiting. What of your new friends? The wayward wake woman, or perhaps that lively nomad? With your presence, any obstacles preventing you from bringing them along should have been easily reduced to naught.
They're in the city, but this is a moment to be shared by us alone.
Indeed. It's cold out here on the balcony, so let's continue this in the corridor.
A replica of where Leberhunt died in Nasir's Sea. Why must ye cling unto our inglorious history and repeat it?
I see you've gained a deeper understanding of the word Tara. But if history does not repeat itself, then how can we speak of breaking the cycle? It can be very difficult to tell us apart by appearance. But the moment either of us speaks, it becomes clear as night and day. Lana only ever steers the conversation toward her own interests. Life is ever the polite one. We get to the bottom of this and find an ending. To tell us apart by appearance. Yeah, as I thought. Yeah, that was Eblana. As I pretty quickly ascertained. Yeah, Eblana is the mysterious woman. The story. If like this is to be exposed to us, it's free to tell us apart when it speaks. Well, she is ever the polite one, and then this is the dude broughting in with she'd get to the bottom of this and find an ending.
Don't interrupt me, sir. I'm talking about the characters in the story. I'm sorry, Eblana.
No, I'm quite glad you finally accepted my invitation.
The dance. Yes, the dance. I'll dance with you to the end, together. However, please tell me first. The last time we met, you said you couldn't afford to wait any longer. What exactly is going on?
That same smile of hers, the older sister stands at the end of the corridor, while the younger clutches her hands together and hides in the shadow of a wall lamp, hoping the other party won't notice her heart wavering. Poor thing, you'd have concluded this farewell so much sooner.
You've become frail. The flames of death must have their limits. Spreading them so far would certainly drag you down as fire after fire blooms, just like back then. Am I right?
I see. Where the ghost's fire meant to resemble mine, his temperament is closer to yours. Seems he's helped you out quite a lot. First, he only wanted to watch all of Tara burn.
He was simply trying to keep it together. Just like you.
Noble Red Dragon finally steps out of the shadows. Or to support her sister, who seems on the verge of being unable to stand, just like before.
Is that so? At the last you resemble your younger self, when you knew nothing of flames or fate. You tried to shield me. It's been a truly long time, Lashini. I remember it was when Miss Murphy next door passed away. You didn't like her, but fancied the beautiful bouquet of flowers in her coffin. So you used your flames to change her body's position. I saw scorch marks on the flowers. I thought she'd be scolded. So I told her parents I was the one who did it. I even fabricated a story of how I opened and closed the coffin.
We're counting fish like the one Dr. Seuss can't book. What the fuck? One fish, two fish. Oh. You know what they say? The biggest red flag in a woman is literacy. What do you need to know that for? Thank you, Dorian, for bringing up the teachings of Ryan Rivers, Millionaire Dating Coach. That's the one thing that we needed in this stream right now is Ryan Rivers, Millionaire Dating Coach. And thank you for the money.
And so you were scolded instead. I could put on Mum and Dad, who didn't even hide the flames in that family in time. Possibly have noticed the faint scorch marks on some flowers. Indeed. Is that why you've always been cowering? Would you blame every decision you made in life on one unfortunate childhood experience? Ah. So tell me, sister, tell me while there's still time. I'd accompany you out to the citadel and into the square. The people return their flames to you. I'll walk through Tara's fields with you, and gather the dead you've intentionally or unintentionally awoken with your arts. Send them all to a peaceful rest. I'll recite poems to you while you're weak, till you fall asleep and wake up again. There's still time for all of that, yes. I trust you to keep your word. Your noble nature would be appalled at the very thought of breaking a promise. But what you just described, would that truly make you happy? Would that simply be enough to appease the Laushani Dublin who did not even witness her parents' death that snowy night? Those beautiful fictions. Sister, love, poetry, dreams, those are all well and good. But it's time for you to wake up. Kill me, if you truly wish to end this chaos. That's the only way. Then put on the crown. You shall become me, while I become you. It is the one thing
Ryan Rivers is back. Oh no, indeed. You can never truly get rid of Ryan Rivers. He's a real cockroach. You gotta give him that. Millionaire Dating Coach Ryan Rivers, he does not die. There's been many assassination attempts on Ryan Rivers, but he never dies and he continues to spread his truth.
It's the one thing I cannot do. You'll have time to mull it over once I'm dead. Then you decide not to hesitate anymore, Lashani. There's been no other choice for us from the moment you came back to see me. His mouth curls up in an intriguing arc. Come, dance with me. Is this the dance you've been looking forward to all of this time? Why can't it be? The younger sister closes her eyes as she points her spear at her older sister. Her body's about to topple over. She grips her weapon with both hands. Sharp spear tip pierces the red dragon's body. She stands unmoved, as if nothing happened at all. Her younger sister's hand circles her waist, and her body slowly crumples, like the end of a dance. Yes, I know. I should have known long ago. But why? Why must it be now? Then, when? Then tell me you'd prefer to stab my heart on a fine afternoon, after meticulously dissecting every nuance of right and wrong with me. You've returned to me. We dance this dance together. That's enough. I only thought my sorrow and hatred were thrown into a suitable flame. It'd eventually become the fuel for life to go on. Sorrow and hatred. So you admit it, Lashani?
And there is the beautiful portrait of death here. Also, interestingly, that's also a pretty genuine smile that Eblana has here. Although at this point, it's probably just relief, like, thank God this is fucking over. Or at least that's what she's thinking at the time. Obviously, it may not be, given she's playable, but In her eyes, it's like, oh fuck, it's fucking over, bro. Thank fuck. Get me out. When the fucking 50-minute game that's been going badly since minute 5 finally ends and you get let out, I've been there.
Your noble virtues have only hurt you in the end. Where is your Freya sister? I can't put out your flames just like that. You mean the people in the city? You will die. Not now. Your flames will be extinguished at your funeral. It's your fire returning ceremony. But still, you ought to be dispelling death with scorching flames, rather than holding the hand of the dead and confessing your inner turmoil, your own regrets. Otherwise, you will only ever be as you are now. Letting go of your chance to save everything. Your final chance.
The overall dragon loses her grip in shock as her sister's body drops to the ground, as cold as it was before her heart was pierced. Not blood, but purple fire that roars from the wound, spanning her entire torso. Instantly floods the balcony and flows down the citadel. An overall dragon rushes over the balcony, but the purple flames of death are even faster. Her own flames can emit even a tiny spark of light. The purple fire spreads across the city, burning the whole of Nassau Sea. Last time she looked out from this very spot, the flames were scattered, stars in the sky. She returned earlier that day. They coated the whole city with a cold and gloomy hue. Now Sea itself burns fiercely. Every other restless corpse she's seen. Very not greedy. I think to some degree the names are more reflective of them at large in this like era of their life, as opposed to them at that very like theoretically you could argue what Reed's doing is necessary, not noble. You could say that killing your sister may be necessary, but it's not like a noble thing. I think you could definitely make that. Go back to life is pretty greedy. It's true, you are using them for your own gain. I think at this moment perhaps not, but like at large, I think in this era of their lives, it's more reflective. I expect to see you again, Harmony. Really didn't. I thought. Okay, frankly, I think you're off at Rhodes at the time of this happening, so I did not expect to see you guys. But I suppose, here ye are.
How far is County Hillock? Far? My sister must have known. Only the elocutionist and his band of idiots would consider this plan flawless. And why are you still following me? Oh, believe me, if it were up to me, I'd be taking a nap in camp right about now. Why didn't my sister stop me? I don't know. Maybe she has high hopes for you. No, that's impossible. Never looked at me like that. I agreed to be a shadow, she... Please, Harmony. Terror, I don't want to do this. That you don't want to go to County Hillock? Mm-hmm. If she's in a good mood, could you also tell her that from now on I'll... No, never mind. Fine. Can't hurt to pass it along, I suppose. Well, it's not easy avoiding the elocutionist's eyes and ears. Thank you. You should, you should go before she gets bored. Harmony did not return until after they arrived in County Hillock. She knew what that meant. That night, when cannons roared and crystals bloomed, she lay on the streets of County Hillock, blood draining from her abdomen. She'd not been afraid then. Instead, she felt relieved that she'd die like any other person. She saw those purple flames on a tower not too far away. That was when she felt afraid. Afraid the flames would overlook her, turn into another puppet like those on the street. Maybe the flames would find her and bring her back, or she would remain a shadow. Gazing in the fire, trying to find some hint of her future in it, but saw nothing but apathy. That what she'd feared most had finally happened. The dead dragon lies on the ground. Behind the living dragon, wayward wake woman suddenly understands it all. Ooh! Ooh! We got some strings, in the OST now. Okay. Got evil strings.
Nefarious strings?
I like it. Okay, okay.
She deceived you. No, she didn't deceive anyone. She set this all up, knowing you would never allow the entire city to die with her. She bade you into piercing her vessel, freeing her from her bonds, and allowing the purple fire to spread, bringing us all to ashes on the eve of Samhain. Why would she take such a risk for a festival that she never cared about? I'm affected by the purple flames too. I can feel the flames of death burning in my chest colder than ever. It's a cold I'm growing number by the minute. It doesn't matter whether she's seeking dominion over all of Tara, or if she's simply gone mad and wants the city to die with her. It's neither. Tara already belongs to her. She was very much lucid. Nemos, is her body still there? I'll go check.
The weird white woman's burrow is furrowed. Perhaps she never felt such malice in her life, and as such never had harbored such resolve.
Her body is. None of burning drowns out her answer. Whatever she's trying to do, Nasi Risi is not fully gone. The fire returning ceremony, it can still go on. It must go on. I'm well aware, informed the citizens that the wicked red dragon they worshipped is dead. What about Brigid? Well, I've asked her to leave the city and find the Wakeman. But how are you going to tell people that Eblana is dead? With a coffin, that seems appropriate. Even coffins are in short supply, but she's not some nameless nobody. She deserves one. Something wrong? No, I'm simply realizing how ugly the path she walked is. A path that even now waves at me, inviting me. And it's an invitation I have no choice but to accept. Go, Nemos. I'll buy you some time.
You mean from the dark mist?
Yes. It wants to be a part of the Samhain festivities. I will keep it at bay. I can hardly wait to ask the mist how to return the red dragon's flame to darkness. I can hardly wait to ask the mist how to return the red dragon's flame to darkness. How do you feel about that line? That the ending of the red dragon and her reflection is clear enough? The rider stands up with a start.
Life isn't apparently greedy parties are playing Yeah. True. It isn't inherently self-serving. Even if not necessarily, perhaps you'd say greedy, it's at least inherently self-serving. Which, I mean, they made it pretty clear for the... Eblana's characterization has been self-serving for a long time. I think everybody knew that about her, so it's not really a surprise. Who are you and what do you want?
All I want is to finish the story, that you would not. Didn't you say I was the type who liked to piece together the truth? You've gotten so very close to it.
This is enough, I'm leaving.
If you won't tell the ending yourself, I suppose it falls on me.
Suddenly, one opened their eyes, causing a surprised reflection. Let go of her hand. The dragon fell into the fire, burning bright. Reflection hid back in the mirror. Fire subsided, the dragon was gone. People were anxious, for they could not find their dragon. The reflection wanted to explain. Find a way to bring the dragon back. Without the dragon, though, you could no longer leave the mirror.
What do you think? You've been glancing over at the newspapers, but not everything reported is a fact.
Ryder looks toward the door. Tries to imagine himself running out of the tavern, but it's such a preposterous proposition that he almost laughs out loud. Not everything reported is a fact, and he knows who this woman is and why she is here. He knows there's no escape. He knows that rumors of someone's death were greatly exaggerated. Something else he realizes. Perhaps this is a chance to truly find the ending he'd hoped for. I don't know who she is, as long as the story continues, they're equals. Feels the spirit return. Okay. I don't care who you are or why you're here. That's no way to tell a story. You haven't given it an ending. All you did was extend an endingless story. I have to know, did you really see a red dragon kill another?
It seems since that you saw the hero drag a giant middle skeleton to the square. A creative liberty, nothing more.
And take responsibility for it. The dragon in the mirror accidentally caused her other self to burn to death in the fire. What next? What do the other people do? What about the dragon in the mirror?
What about ye? Don't you have any ideas of your own?
For the first time in a long time, the writer takes out a fountain pen from his pocket and grabs one of the playing cards on the table. He tries to write something, but the tip of the pen is dried out from disuse. I need time. But if it can be connected, then maybe.
Connected? Let me guess. You're talking about the last story you published?
Ben scratches hard against the card. Finally, some ink oozes out of the tip. He's suddenly reminded of the words of Seamus Williams.
Death connects us all with legends. Amos Williams is dead, but he himself he may be so impertinent, have a chance to be connected with the legends he wrote. He has a scribble of the poem on the card, but the pen leaves only broken, illegible ink trail. Just maybe, yes? The writer sits back on the chair, back even straighter than before. Suddenly feels an urge, and when he felt after hearing a Seamus Williams poem for the first time. Same feeling he had taken him down this wretched path, which seizes his chest and makes him want to sing, to yell, create. May have indeed solved a problem for me. As I said, what I've seen, what I believe in, what I've said, all contradict one another. Next to you, though, they're all beginning to converge. How lovely for you. Now, are you ready to start telling the third story? Of course, but I'll need your help. I'll need to pick up the narrative whenever I get stuck. This is my story, but it's also yours. Always been yours. With pleasure. Ryan's breathing is rapid. Face red. Scout pen still refuses to write, so he throws it on the table. Yes, of course. Has he not seen enough of those things already? So what? He's a writer. Soon find the ending of his story. Oh, yep, another one of these.
There was a mother who once ruled a kingdom, until her crown and her family were taken by her foes. The mother had a powerful daughter, who then made a pact with the dark mist in the dark woods to drive out their foes. The daughter reclaimed the kingdom for her mother, returning the promised peace to the dark mist. The mother was to host a grand coronation for her daughter, but the daughter died mysteriously right before the event. Tremendous woe and then rage engulfed the mother. Her zeal to avenge her daughter was so fierce that the entire kingdom was scorched by her vengeful fire. Until that fury disturbed the dark mist, who had just returned to its resting peace. The dark mist demanded that the mother cease, or she would be dragged into the darkness. But in her grief, the mother remained convinced that the dark mist was the one who had taken her daughter. A desperate battle was then inevitable. The mother determined to risk her life.
It's kind of interesting to think about stories like this and like ending of a grand overture. Theoretically, because they're like written by characters. Theoretically, like not all of this shit actually happened. We assume it did. In this way, we assume it all happened exactly how we see, but we don't know technically. Could be something else. Out of the fish count. I'm sorry, Dorian. I'm sorry. What is it? Like a $7 bucks? Jeez.
Nemos. What? Nemos. Reed. At the city gates, the nomad looks back at the citadel in the distance one last time. She resists the urge to turn tail and flee at the acrid burning smell. Knows what it signifies. Knows what she should do. Most sadly, the city to seek the Wakeman as quickly as possible, regardless of whether Lashni is successful. Despite the urgency in Nemos's voice, she did not sound like she believed things would take a turn for the better. Believed that Brigid could convince the Wakeman to come. She could smell the same burning smell coming from Nemos. Remind her of the obsessions that only the dead could have.
What are you waiting for? Death? Or are you just waiting for it to pat you on the back so you can have a nice little race together?
Who is that?
Oh, I forgot you could hear me.
I can hear you. I can even sense your presence, but I can't see you.
Leave the city, outsider.
You're an outsider too, by the sounds of it.
Naturally. Consider advice from one outsider to another. Live, Brigid. Nothing is more important than being alive. He will be dead by sunrise tomorrow. Listen to Nemos. Find her kinsman, or as far as you can, never look back.
You're right, I should go.
But I will be back. Back! Stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary. All you fuckers, I hate you, you're so stupid. You want to come back after she tried so hard to get you out of here.
So you also think it was just an excuse to keep me safe?
What else could it be? You think you can sway those wood brains? If you waited for spring, one of their brains would sprout and they might come with you to the dark woods.
I don't like the way you talk, invisible brother.
What did you call me? Brother?
You have a burnt stench, but other than that, you remind me of the nomads. No clue how you're related to us, but feels right. Alright, let's make a bet then, Brigand. A bet? On whether you'll be back tonight before Nasa RC is burned to the ground. I say it's impossible. That's not what you really want to bet on. Oh yeah? Then tell me what I'm really thinking. Just want to prove that you're right, that nothing is more important than being alive. Think I'll choose survival in the end. Well, whatever. You're on. Well, what are you waiting for then? This doesn't feel fair. If you win, I'll live the rest of my life in regret, but if I win, it doesn't really matter to a bystander like you. How about this? If I win, you go back where you came from. Where do you think I should go back to? No idea, but not here. This isn't your home. You sound like you've been betrayed by the city folk here before, but you still can't bring yourself to hurt them. You act like you want to see them reap what they sowed, but didn't sound happy at all when you talked about the city burned to the ground. Honestly, you're the most struggling person I've ever met, and enough! Very well. If you win, I'll return where I belong. But just coming back here to die won't cut it. What else do you need me to do then? Deliver a message to those woodbrains outside the city. Tell them.
It's been 600 years. Nobody's blaming you anymore. Go do your jobs.
Oh, and one more thing. I
fucking hate you, stupid wood brains.
What? Pass that on and pass that on to these fools verbatim, especially the filthier bits. Did you get all that? Need me to repeat myself? No, the elders sometimes speak that language, so I understand it, more or less. Then go. What are you waiting for? Was all that just so you could tell me this? Just get moving already. Elder Nomad takes a deep breath and runs away from the city. Her ancestor whose figures you never saw stands in place unmoving. That stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary. And there. Starting to run while he fucking looks over like a damn stand. Yeah, they got some quite nice CGs. Very nice artwork here. Nemos turns to leave, while Laushini looks toward the dark woods. Sun is set beneath the horizon. Curfew is about to begin. In the distance, she sees the dark mist spreading from the forest towards Nasayar Sea, thicker than ever. I made it in time. They disappear toward the mist outside, lighting a bright yellow spark in the sea of purple. Even kind of message, the mist slowly rises until it's level with the flame of the tip of her spear. Yes, come here. Where it's warm and bright, but it's still alive. Yes, over here. What? You want to pretend I don't exist again? I won't let ye. This light will never go out until true darkness falls. Attracted by the flame in her hand, yet unable to approach, the mist begins to flow through the streets. Luna returns, but this time her flame can neither draw or repel it. There is cacophony within the mist. She feels as though everything has gone dark all of a sudden. Darkness has come. Is this your answer? Yes, this is my answer. It isn't complete. It needs time. Time is your enemy, not your friend. We'll see about that. The deathly fires have not yet completely transformed the people into the walking dead. They're still alive. There's still time to return the flames. They're not going anywhere until Nemos awakens them. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Maybe my strength, my wisdom, and my arts are also insignificant to you that it seems ridiculous. But I have my resolve. We're gonna see here. Nemos drags the coffin through the corridor. The red dragon's remains do not burn, they simply lie there quietly. So death should be. And Nemos seems to hear an ethereal voice laughing in her ear. Without hesitation, the wayward wake woman lifts the limp body and tosses it into the coffin. This coffin, Red Dragon, is your final resting. Where those like you belong. Where are you now? Still watching us from somewhere with that twisted smile of yours? With this vessel, at least. Under reach. Otherwise, you'd have burned me to ash by now. This spear which never left your side? How many times do you breathe your flames from it? How many others like Kulan have been your victims? You don't even know the answer, do you? Great effort, Nemos lifts the spear and thrusts it into the coffin. Flames from its stiff engulf the coffin in an instant, spreading along the rope, connecting it to Nemos and merging with the purple fire on her. A deathly cold runs through Nemos's body, but she could hardly feel temperature at this point. You're mine now. I'll finish what Kulan started. Let's go. Those lowly, despicable places that suffered from the war you stole victory in. It will be seen by all. Your death will be seen by all. They will know that you are dead. The proud, imperious Red Dragon is dead. Here lies Eblana Dublin, in this coffin covered in freezing flames. But what will they do then? Pray that death will wake them up, of course, as Lashni hoped. But they'll know that the era you represented is over, that Nasir Sea will escape this calamity, that Tara need not celebrate its rebirth with the death of a city, but... Your fire must have gotten him, turned my head dragon. Or is that I suddenly feel like the other ending, where all ends in destruction isn't so bad. Someone else may have killed you, but... This is my revenge. The coffin remains silent, and Nemos no longer speaks. Silent, delirious, and determined, she drags the burning coffin down the stairs, making a point to let it hit each step on the way down. It sounds like a withered mockery of the dead. Bang, 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 bang. Oh yeah. We've only got a bit more to go. We got the EA8s and we got the ST3s. Let's get these going with the last. Here's the like nothing covered dragon. Nils drags the coffin out of the citadel. A single soul is in the square with the statue. Curfew's begun, but she drags the red dragon's coffin over. Draconic flames burn within her own body. Wherever she goes, the darkness retreats. When she moves on, it reoccupies the space. Kulan, I envy you. No one could have slept through you dragging that colossal statue, forced them to come out to see what's going on. What about me, Kulan? What am I supposed to do? I have to keep shouting the red dragon's dead as I walk down the street? Her head to meet the statue's eyes. Violent flames dancing within its pupils do not answer. What was the song she sung for the dead with the wakeman all those years ago? Most from the cities would also join in, if only for the first few lines. Hope you all remember those the ancient ballads, Terrans. So, Red Dragon, which song should I sing to announce your death? How about the blasphemous Tim Finn's wake? Did you enjoy a funeral where people get into fights? Splash whiskey on your corpse? You wake up after smelling the alcohol? Forget it. No one wants you coming back to life. Except maybe the people who spent money to like gamble for you. If you just like didn't exist. After they spent that money, they'd probably be unhappy. I so that she can solo carry a coffin? All Terrans are just really fucking strong. We like know that about people from Terra from the Rainbow Six events. You know, Techno just like folded fuse. We know that people from Terra are just like kind of cracked compared to humans who are a bit, you know, weaker. Black clouds shroud the Martian vales. Cold wind shrieks through the mountains and hills. At the crack of dawn I see a traveler who asks me the way to the golden field. The wayward wake woman sings with the hoarse voice, dragging the burning coffin toward every inhabited part of the city she's familiar with. Stops at every house, making sure the purple flames reflect in their windows, that the elegy is heard inside. The more she sings, the more intimately the flames envelop her body, overwhelming her sluggish senses and making every step feel like torturous labor. It also lets her hear even the smallest snippets of speech from every window. Our language classes, Karen? That can't possibly be free, right? At that price, well, it's doable as long as we cut down on the wine. Bloody hell, Karen! If I'd helped you more back then, could you have escaped the Victorians? Damn dark mist! If the Red Dragon won't drive it away, I'll do it myself! The black clouds shroud the Martian vales, the cold wind shrieks through the mountains and hills. At crack of dawn I see a traveler who asked me the way to the golden field. Where the hell are these producers? True, where are the producers? Everybody's just out here singing. What's that? That muscle ship you singing in the middle of the night. What's that? She's just dragging that burns so bright. Darling, even if you want to help the Taran cause, surely you don't have to join the army. Fine, I'll wait for you to come home, the day we win our freedom. Finally, some quiet. Going on and on about how your hand hurts when your whole arm's already gone. It's like screaming about it's gonna get you any medicine. If it was going to be like this, I wish you'd never come home. I spent my whole life missing you. I said to him, poor chap, Even I don't know how far you have to go, but if you wish, I'll go with you for a bit toward the golden field. Isn't this a funeral song? What's purple flames? Or is it mourning?
What? The enemies have entered the woods and are under the city! I can't sit back and do nothing, Nemos! Where is the army recruiting? I'll take my weapons and go!
There's neither light nor any voice behind this window. Turn right and past the palace. Cross the river of fine wine. I'll share a cup by the riverside before we return to the Golden Field Road.
Miss Nemos, will you be moving in with Mr. Kulan after the war's over? Oh, I was hoping there'd be someone other than me to cook for him. He's fucking dog shit at it, tell you what.
Perhaps the most important thing to do before Iris returns is to repair the workshop door. Hope you find that golden field and a home in flames you'll never yield. I'm sure you won't hesitate then, and complete your trip to the golden field. Wake woman on the brink of death. Who does she think she's gonna rouse with those songs? Can't even wake herself up. Whatever happens, Brigid, oh silly child of my distant bloodline, don't come back. City isn't worth your life. Nemos walks toward the last street she has yet to visit. Also thinking about it, it's definitely kind of Brigid's almost purpose in the story. It's like with like Laushni saying like no Eblana, like it's Laushni and Morin having the like same opinion of like, oh, history may be similar, but we can change like elements. There may be things about us that are the same, but it doesn't have to end the same. And it's like the exiled king assuming, oh yeah, Brigid's going to just leave. She's not gonna come back. She'll realize that life is more important to her than like this place that he sees as death. That's the same. I was probably the descendant of a Draco or whatever. Plenty of generations and lots of fucking lots of lots. I guess Tortheo, the exiled king, loved that tight pero pussy. I guess that's how. And he did say distant, and it's 600 years, so that's a lot of potential generations of pero pussy that could have been filled. You know, like Brigid's like purpose is like a character, kind of to like reflect that and be a reflection of the exiled king. I would assume she's gonna come back, and she's obviously going to live again because we have her like playable, assumedly. So meant to like prove him wrong that, you know, these 600 years and everything, like things can be changed. None of this is inevitable in the way that he kind of is. He is defeated by all this. He feels like it's all Jover. Almost walks toward the last street she's yet to visit. Been through practically the entire city. There's a simmering restlessness behind every door, and none of them have opened. The wayward wake woman gradually loses her grasp on her senses as her voice grows weaker. She has sung every song she knows, even the blasphemous Tim Finn's Wake from start to finish. She only has one song left. She did not want to sing it, but now she has no other choice. I stepped in the dark woods one morn, calling to the mists of all, trod upon the road, heading out to war. Amos! Emma, I almost couldn't recognize you. You're still... I'm not doing good. Oh, do you see? Oh, yeah, you can see her eye is the more intense, like, purple and everything. Her pupil is, like, the bright burning flame. Emma, I almost couldn't recognize you. You're still... not doing good, Nemos. Be dead soon. Just want to lie in bed and stop breathing. My joints hurt, my throat's burning. Even seeing people who aren't with us anymore. When I heard your song and saw the coffin, I'm on death's door already, so I figured, why not come and see? Where's the dark mist? Maybe in the forest, maybe in the city, maybe right behind us. I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care either. One question, Nemos. I need you to find the answer. Answer it before I can die. Inside that coffin, that truly are... Didn't get the stream? Oh, you didn't get the stream until now? I love YouTube. Also, Rod Jack, check if YouTube like randomly flip the like restricted mode on for you. That could have been it. I don't know. YouTube's making just changes in general recently that are like
kind of across the platform, there's like views being down and like things are. It's not just the like, it's the restricted randomly turning on. It's the like AI age restriction shit. It's just overall algorithmic changes again that suck. It's just I don't know what to say about what the fuck YouTube's. I have like a I have call me like the exiled king from this fucking event on YouTube. It's like Jover to like think that YouTube will make changes that make the website better, and they're not under any pressure to, because you cannot make a competing platform to YouTube. For like streaming and everything, you have like Twitch and everything, but for like video uploads, you just can't. At this point, it's just completely doomed. YouTube's grown so big. There's just like no way to really compete. People have tried. Like Vimeo exists and stuff, but like it's kind of a fake competitor. Emma stands on her front porch, staggering, afraid to collapse any moment into a pile of kindling. Burn in despair and return to dust.
Put her in the coffin myself. Why did she die? Yoda. Oh!
Emma's feeble but angry voice echoes down the empty streets. Who? 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 Echoes linger. Almost turns around to look. The streets are still empty. She knows where the echoes are coming from. Behind every closed door is her bloodshot eyes hidden away, just like the ones on Emma's face. Emma turns again to look toward the towering citadel where nothing remains within.
Guys still want revenge?
That's right. As long as we can move, we can avenge the Red Dragon. Emma turns away in despair. Stops singing her songs and really hauls the coffin step by step toward the square. Wait, Emma! Wait!
How many times must I repeat myself, miss? Eblana's dead. I killed her with my own hands. Her body lies in the coffin and Emma sent the dragon to the city. The people must know she's dead. Return a violet flame so her bodies will no longer burn.
Well, thinking. Did not gift those flames. They started the fire. I think the Red Dragon promised will be lost because of you.
When has she ever cared about honoring her promises? But that's all of the mercy.
She retreats step by step until there's no room for her to move any further, and as a fierce flame bursts from her spear tip, melting the coldly lit vegetation.
Know that only the Red Dragon stands before ye. Whatever she's promised ye, the only way you'll get through it is me. You'll get to it is through me. You hear the doors open in the distance. You must have. You must aside. The first resident to break curfew already opened their door. But for their sake, as well as the hundreds more who will take to the very same streets, you must remain here. Before my answer to now Sea is deemed a failure, before the people, we are reduced to shambling corpses bent on tearing the dark mist apart. You have no right to take the lives of anyone trespassing in the dark.
What arrogance!
You call this arrogance? If Terra needs it, I can be far more arrogant than that.
Oh, Reed, you finally finding your backbone. Yep. The dragon speaks no more, and the flames of light burn brightly atop the spear. She steps forward, with her back straight, no longer dodging the ice-cold branches, but allowing them to lace her body with bloodied scratches. The juxtaposition of the giant statue with the two tiny figures makes them seem like ghosts. Somehow, Emos can also feel the presence of others besides Emma. In fact, they have crowded the square. The whole city's here. They're watching and listening, lit up by the strange purple glow from their originium lamps. Oh, it's more than a glow. Bodies are burning purple. The one who killed the Red Dragon is... Emma knows they haven't changed a bit, but they're still waiting for her to utter a name they can curse and destroy. They'll even destroy themselves. How should he? Oh, who would believe it's actually two Red Dragons? Who else then? Who else could possibly kill the dragon who seemed to toy with life and death? Before she can stop herself, she has a thought. Why not just say it was the Dark Mist or the Victorians? Revenge indeed. Let these lunatics dash in the mist and die in the Red Dragon's name. Let them fulfill their desire for vengeance and let this violent city die. Born in disgrace, let it die in madness. Yes. Die. Let everyone who's died perish, like those who left and went in the Dark Mist. Oh, fucking... Oh! He's back. What voice did you have? My guy, what voice you had for your epic moment? I got a real quick, I I gotta real quick refill my drink. We're running out of water, but like I'm running out of throat here. We're gonna real quick throw your Minecraft parkour back on, guys. One more time. I'm gonna go refill my drink. Oh, the Minecraft parkour? The Minecraft parkour cheat anyways, we know this. We have considered killing them before. Stepped in the dark woods one more, calling to the mists of horror. Most turns to look at the colossal dragon skeleton sculpture. What was that recent evening? Washed with confusion and sorrow. What was he thinking? The man who dragged the statue into the square. What song was he singing in his heart? Was it the song that they taught Theo when they rescued him? Feels like centuries ago? In this moment, the last bit of her sanity snatches the answer from the fiery clutches of her rage. The answer that had been fluttering around since the very beginning of the story. The answer to the red dragon, his sisters, to the mirror, and the reflection, the flames of life and death. Do I actually try to do a chokes back tears while my throat is already starting to hurt sound? That will probably hurt my throat. I'm gonna elect not to. You'll have to imagine it. I'm sorry.
Ulan, wasn't you to throw his life away protecting these people. The one who killed the Red Dragon is no other than the Red Dragon. It was herself. The woman before Nemos stares at her blankly, as if she not hear her words. During her entire reading, Nemos yells to the whole city, "The Red Dragon killed herself!" Oh god, it's a serious moment, but there is something darkly comedic about just like shouting and just shouting the entire one, "The dragon fucking killed himself!" Ah! Damn, crazy. Fucking making me think of the goddamn, "Your mother hung herself!" Rah! She never intended to light the flames in your bodies, but she did not want you to burn as cinder, so she offered her own life instead. Protect you from death, and yet, must you exact a fruitless revenge? Must you destroy everything she gave her life for? The city falls silent as purple flames flicker, leaving only the dark mist lingering restlessly at the gates, waiting for its hesitant prey to step into its domain. She killed herself, so we wouldn't get revenge. Then, what do we do now? Outside of questions from the residents, since Nemo said spinning. Bloodshot eyes that did not shut from the news of death, instead, ask her questions. Prying teeth that did not relax from the news of death, instead, ask her questions. Clenched fists that did not open from the news of the death, that ask her questions. Silence, tension, confusion. Their revenge was rejected, overruled by the Red Dragon, so where should their sorrow go now? Else, unborn child, Red Dragon, someone tell me. Emma? If even revenge is out of my hands, then what else can I do? I have nothing else. War took everything from me. How am I supposed to live on? Tell me. Gills. Tell me. Red Dragon. Anyone to tell me quickly. How am I supposed to live on? Or should I go to you instead? Emma, no! Isn't this the only path left for me? Well, there's someone else who came back. Demos is pretty.
Yeah, she is. Too bad she seems almost most certainly dead.
Or at least beyond repair.
Niels, was it?
Steps into the dark woods one morn, calling to the mists of all.
Niels, is that you? You finally back?
I trot upon the road, heading out to war. No pops are singing, no battle drums are all. Only the bells behind me, though do in fog, their rings do soar.
I'm singing. That song is Niels for me. Why did you still sing that song, oh man?
He was lost in Venice, and the soft voice sings the same tune with the different lyrics. A night-blind laborer is led by a wake woman as they slowly walk into the square.
Again through the dark woods. I said stop singing that. Hey, again.
Maybe presumptuous, I tried writing a new verse to the song. Because I don't want our brave loved ones to just leave us, never to see us again, eternally lost in the mist just like we are. Again through the dark woods, out in the midst of horror. Silence dearly departed, my heart so sad and sore. So in my dreams I go, lighting bonfires in the woods, not to unite, but to light the path that you trod with fog, too.
Here's a stream idea. We do a real Minecraft parkour. maybe for some stream I'll like do Minecraft parkour so that I'll have a video up. I'll get an older version and get some of those old like epic jump maps, some of the ancient Minecraft parkour. I do also like that they incorporated singing so heavily into this, given it's like, you know, we're in the Irish area. And obviously, they sing when they're drinking, they sing when X, they sing when Y, they sing when Z, they sing when... A lot of singing. There's a lot of like traditional songs and just a lot of singing for everything. Is it a local lunatic that Tribon's at for Ireland? Yeah. Hey, the local lunatic guy is peak. We love him.
Not to reunite, but to light the path you trod.
Tear trickles from Emma's eyes, streaking across her sallow face. Return it. Return your flames, and the blessing of the Red Dragon.
Return the flames. Return this blessing. This fire back to her. Will it light up that path?
return it, and the wandering departed will also return to the flames and rest in peace. Oh, I don't want that. Just want to see him again. You die as you are. You'll only ever push past each other in the fog again and again. What should I do? Live on. He chose to walk into the mist so you wouldn't need to be lost within it as well. Return the fire to light his path, and let the years pass. Let life begin anew. When your hair is white and he learns his wish was fulfilled, only then will you meet again. The woman buries her face in her hands, kneels down on the ground, tears streaming down her eyes. Her hands are a candle. The candle's flame turns purple the moment she takes it between sobs. Wakemen and refugees slowly sing their way through the city. A tiny stream left behind after a night of rain. It's by no means a clear stream, nor a turbulent one. It is a miserable, muddy trickle, flowing down centuries of painful history, carrying dust and blood and about to run dry. It's this murky bareness that reveals the city's true self in the gloomy night. Nights of falling asleep, ripping old photos, mornings awakened by phantom pain from amputated limbs. Now empty houses fell to ruin. And those fortunate enough to return home were greeted only by orphan dolls scattered across the dusty floors. Kinda fog and haze of the city. It is quite a nice OST. I like a lot of the new songs. Doors are opening? They are. People flood in the streets like a burst dam, pouring into the square. Some leave their homes with candles in hand, while many more follow in the city and take one from the wakesman. Flames still burn purple, but seem to have softened. They're a bit of warmth. Finally. Place the red dragon's coffin at the statue's base now. Teams Nase RC will witness a grand fire and returning ceremony tonight. It'll be the first, Nemos. Me? This is her funeral, so are you sure? It's more than just hers, is it not? The woman looks around, trying to pinpoint the shadow of a stranger. Even if the ghost is trying to hide from her, she has no way of hearing the long overdue words of forgiveness from his mouth. Now we're even, Woodbrains. Go fuck yourself. Nile is a river in Egypt. Yeah. Wolf takes a candle from the wake woman and bows for the burning coffin beneath the dragon statue. Rest in peace. She deliberately neglects to mention the name of the departed. Places the candle before the coffin, no longer able to stop her tears from crashing the flames. Violet furiously rises up in the sky, spreading from the coffin to the entire statue. The entire sculpture is set ablaze. The crowd place their candles down by the statue. Turned the purple flames, one who granted them their fee. Some are silent and call the red dragon's name, but many more chant the most precious things they'd lost in the war. Tears fall like rain. Suppressed, promised, twisted, excited. Tears wash away the flickering, hollow pageantry, only the sorrow, lives crushed to bits. Rude, sharp, ribbed, stuck in their throats. Only now does their song manage to cry out. The rain of tears converges into the stream of songs. Rolling around the statue as aging blaze evaporates it all, leaving the citadel behind the squares engulfed in flames.
As I said, this is my answer. Alright, real quick, have to fucking get back into it. Yes. These are the important lines that I want to make sure that we get right. As I said, this is my answer.
The mist does not reply, but after a long time, Roshni gives a deep sigh. Made this choice herself. Darkness dissipates like awakening from a dream. Roshni sees real black clouds above it. She heads toward the square. She goes to return fire to the dead. He walks the whole way from the city gates to the square. Every living resident is gathered before the burning statue. Roaring purple flames have already taken over one side of the citadel. No one is able to approach. Roshni gets all the space she could want.
It should work from here too. Eblana, may Terra never needs your flames again.
A small blossom of fire flashes from Roshni's palm. He does not know if this conforms to funerary tradition. It's simply an act of instinct. A bright yellow flower flutters into the purple blaze. He stands quietly. The other fire warriors have done, but
Fire does not die out. I forgot to show last time what we've actually got here. There it is. Burning dragon and all the people. That is true. If we were gonna have a trucker with main character energy, why would we not have Irene? She has much more main character energy.
Well, fire still lights up half the sky until everyone has returned their flames. The originium lamps on their waist remain an ice-cold violet. Ashni finally realizes that some way a giant dragon still flame is stopped right before her. Meets its eyes. Blonda's eyes.
Still not given up, Eblana. Very well then. I'll play along with you. One last time.
Ashni's spirit tip flares up as the giant dragon flaps his wings and charges towards her.
Oh. We're going back in time. Wrong spelling. It's this. It's Irene with an E. Irene with an I is the Spanish bird. You gotta lock in for this stuff, Tor, Theo. Very notable. Very important information. Those hypergriffs, true. Rhinus, Singers just sent word the Elocutionist and the rest have taken Laushni. They're on their way to County Zalak.
I see. We only sent news after our troops left and the leader had already set up for County Zalak. We want to avoid offending the Elocutionist and his group. Also to avoid accusations of concealing information. What should we do with him?
Dublin has never needed him to be our eyes. No one's counting on him for this.
My utmost apologies, I take full responsibility. I assumed they were heading towards County Zalak on orders. I never imagined they'd dare take Laushni. They haven't gotten far, so we can still catch up if we set off now.
Your Highness, I bring this from my sister. She hopes you can curb the Elocutionist and its men from acting rashly and bring her back.
She said that herself?
That's right.
I'll mobilize the troops at once. Hold on. Your Highness, we should stop them as soon as possible.
Also, I don't want to go to County Zalak, straight from the dragon's mouth. If that is truly her desire, then she ought to realize it with her own hands. It will be no difficult task with her flames. She not already sentenced quite a few to death in the name of the leader. Tell her this, if that's what she wants, she can do it herself. No, there's no need for even that. Your Highness, if I may be so bold, she is my sister?
Giant dragon flaps its steel wings, stirring up a flaming vortex, but Laushni does not waver. Stabs her spear firmly in its eye socket.
Still unable to commit to killing me, Laushni?
Gradually, the dragon's voice overlaps with Eblana's, and eventually even its body becomes hers. The scene around them changes swiftly, just like the night in the ruins with Abredha.
Oh, yeah. This is from What the Firelight Cast. Oh shit, do I have this still on? That's me. What the hell is that other OST coming from? Do I have this unmuted? No, both. Oh, where I'm like, where I like have the stream pulled up for observation is. It's from What the Firelight Cast. Let me real quick chat. I'm just gonna pop you over to the There we go. We're all good. We're all good. Okay, we got the right one as well. All right. Got the showdown.
I just don't know. What exactly do you want? You deceived me and lied to so many. All for what? For the city to be buried alongside you. To become the next legendary King Gael. I never lied to you. And why should I believe you now? What exactly is Nasialsi to you? What about Tara? I always believe we shared the same dream. So why do they seem completely different now? Or will dreams eventually become a card for you to play in your mad pursuit of power? Until you'll inevitably go broad of just like Laushani back in County Hillock. County Hillock. So no desire to return to me in your eyes back then, only relief. Was I mistaken? Why, indeed, that I was truly sick of it back in County Hillock. And with my flames, I can mold anything I want into any shape I want. Everything except my reflection in the mirror. No matter how large a blaze I stoked, it wouldn't change one bit. You should never burn it directly. Yes, I've never burned you directly. I've only ever waited. I've always waited. Waiting for you to give me an answer. An answer? What about you, Larshani? What do you want? Yes, it's good that your blood and upbringing have you carry yourself high. But if you want for nothing, then what sort of position am I meant to leave by my side for you? Go on. It's your wish on a snowy night. Let you aspire as grand as you want.
This is the boss theme for yeah, got you again. This is the ending theme or the boss theme for What the Firelight Cast. There's that one. Some serious aura.
True, you've never used your flames at me, but only because you had other tools more suited for the task. Fear, duty, guilt, sympathy. You've never asked me directly to change, but you've done so indirectly countless times. All my attempts to guide you were useless, yet my apathy bore fruit. How terribly ironic. Whatever the case, you suddenly returned of your own will, ready to embrace a real life. That's enough. Conspiracies, lust for power, war, is that what you'd call a real life? Is it not? Stories, poems, legends. Do you think those are enough to constitute a life worthy of you and I? You or I? I know. I've always been ashamed of myself. Even now I hate myself for not sharing your suffering. I was the one who left, forcing you to shoulder it all on your own, trying to mold you into what you are now. No, Lafshani. Recently I've been wondering if you're just as arrogant as I am. The only difference is that my arrogance is directed to land, while yours is focused solely on me. What? Conspiracies, lust for power, war. Why do you assume those are what shaped me? They have never changed me. They simply happen to take on a form I was able to wield with ease. And more. Yeah.
Lana's boss theme? I mean, I would say 5 out of 10 is a pure boss theme, but I think as like specifically as the theme of Laushani challenging her, because that is what it is at like the end of the Firelight Cast, fighting the projection of her. I think it's really good, especially I really like this part.
Pennies but the power can decide whether one lives or dies, and what power can decide the fate of armies. Then overwhelming amounts can decide the rise and fall of nations. As power comes to an end. The opponents have always known this. I think you do too. Am I wrong, Lashani? Death mocks all equally, preparing a predestined end for those who crave power, ruthlessly snatching away everything they spent their whole lives chasing. So if you knew your path would come to naught, why do you still... One backs away as the giant steel-forged dragon follows suit. Is escaping or trying to hide? Or she subconsciously eases her fire, and the next moment bites on her lip and abruptly increases her strength, pushing Eblana forward. Pretty good. At least you've learned the most fundamental thing required for a life without me. Cruelty? Determination. If you've decided that this path is your life, then step forward and never look back. You should be the one telling that to the people of Nasir Sea. Let me finish. Death mocks all equally, yet I shall mock death, So bless me, dear sister, for I am about to embark on the grand adventure.
I'm about to assign you the paperwork, and I'm about to go on a vacation or something. Feels like a boss thing, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, definitely. Lana retreats again and again, smile on her face fainter than ever. The sensation in Lashley's arm is piercing through steel gradually lessens until it feels as smooth as a stroke through a body. As hollow as running a spear through flame. With an immense force, like a final flash of dying light, erupts from her spear tip, pulling Lashley toward the other side. Ice-cold flames wrap around her body, and she suddenly realizes that she now stands at the entrance of the Citadel. Red Dragon Square, right in the middle of the fire turning right. Perhaps the dragon skeleton she is currently entangled with merely returned to its original position. Took the chance to pull her. Firm grip on her spear, before the funeral flames.
Do you still wish to get away from me, Laushani?
Light shoots out from Lao Shani's sphere, brighter than ever. In a flash, she feels a burning sensation, as painful as her internal organs rupturing repeatedly. The flames of life burst and fade in the center of death, again and again until the weapon can no longer stand her overloaded arts and bursts aflame as well. Man's bones crash and collide with each other, thousands of mouths singing their separate elegies. Flames slowly grow warmer, as Lana's figure gradually fades. His lips quiver, wishing to say words of farewell. In her heart, she scans every she has ever read, yet is able to recall an appropriate line. As she dissipates, Lana slowly cradles Lashley in embrace.
Farewell. Till death do us part. Hope you enjoy my parting gift. Parting gift?
The mourners in the square are completely oblivious to what is occurring within the flames. What they see is a fire growing taller and stronger, covering the pedestal, coffin, dragon sculpture, citadel, yet continuing to ascend. Flames distort the dragon's figure. No longer tell whether it's flapping its wings in flight, death march, match with some unseen foe, or crying out in anguish with its head run through. One is silent. No identify its posture in the firelight, but all is in vain. The brigand cries out in surprise, "Fire changed color!" Fire changed color. Strong wind rising up from the ground turns the sky searing purple flames into a maelstrom. At the bottom of the coffin arises a small but scorching sun. The entire deep purple vortex seems to light up, getting a shining yellow from the bottom to the top. Everyone near the bonfire backs away. Flames suddenly bear a warmth, really burning. Rising heat dissipates, evaporating even the stream of sorrow. Perhaps a miracle is about to occur. Thought on everyone's mind.
A miracle. When I have no choice but to accept Vatara. It is the parting gift you prepared for me, sister.
Lana's undeniably dead. She cannot answer. Ashley tries to recall their hug. Expectations met, a pinch of warmth and cold calculation. What are the proportions of each in that embrace? Maybe all those things were inseparable to Eblana.
You were right, Eblana. This is your ultimate goal. Insist on laying this bloodstained crown atop my head, then yes. Rana Bahele. Until death, we shan't meet again.
Flaming vortex exhales and dissipates. The red dragon, one who led the Tarans through the long night, steps forth from the statue center, for the entirety of Mass ARC. Expression is blurred by Her expression is blurred by flame. Your figure is as solid as the persistent life on the land. A step, and another. Footsteps over the coffin, still burning in purple embers. No body within, with the familiar flame-spewing spear of the leader. The crowd holds their breath. The square falls silent. They stand outside a hospital's delivery room, perhaps a cemetery. The last shovel of soil has been into a grave. Any dancing flames remain. Without rest. There's Reed walking out. True Laffy. Fucking Control's Wishes is still, I think, my favorite song in the entire OST. You're telling me the story's over dramatic? This story that it's like within a story that's being told by other people is overly dramatic? That's crazy. I'd have never thought it.
Yeah. You forgive everything else you've done to me, Eblana. But not this parting gift, ever. From past to present, your name will sink into oblivion. After the countless names of Tara, the only Red Dragon of Tara will be Larceny Dublin. He have returned. The Red Dragon who led you in the fight against Victoria. And he fight for independence and freedom. Larceny Dublin, back from the abyss of death. I died to quench the flames upon you all. The rain of tears you shed for me extinguished that fire, allowing me to return from the abyss. This time though, I will not drive you to your deaths. Grand undertaking is complete. Never again will there be cause for countless Tarans to offer up their lives and leave us only ruins and wailing. I pray with all my heart that every Taran will be able to curb their own flame. Flames that came from slavery, from oppression, from humiliation, from sorrow that never died out, not for thousands of years. I neither need nor expect you to forget. I only hope that you can do as our ancestors did, and let those flames become your lamp. Lamp that first warms you, and then illuminates the path for us all. So we can truly laugh, sing, live in our homeland. A very bright, a bright yet gentle light.
So are you seeing a Lord of the Rings right here? Yeah, the flute. The flute's definitely strong on that. It's supposed to be fairy tale-esque, right? Yeah, Laffy. Realistically, we can just not believe that this is really how it happened. And to some extent, probably some of it's exaggerated. Probably not all of this literally happened in the exact way, because we are following characters that we know like exist in the world, but also that are like being written. This is like almost a biography. Lacrosse still mulling over her words. Otherwise, it's like present pain.
Ugh, why is it my burn on my hand's slowly hurting? The colors of all your lamps, even my own changed color.
These are the lights the Red Dragon hopes you will carry to warm yourselves. Purple fire belongs only to the dead, but we unwillingly let our own flames be dyed its color through overwhelming death and loss. But we mistook that fire for a blessing and allowed ourselves to be dragged toward the abyss. The Red Dragon hadn't killed herself tonight, and we hadn't managed to return her flames. We could have all been dead by now, turned into walking corpses.
To extinguish the flames of death in ourselves. Said that's why she killed herself?
Something like that. She's weird. I don't fucking know. Maybe. Sense of guilt that had crept up on Nemos after the purple flames vanished leaves her unable to reply. She only nods slightly. She feels a sudden chill in her face. The drop of water. She lifts her head and looks at the distant night sky. Her look up as the damp raindrops hold their faces, gently washing their tears away. Raining. Samhain's Eve, the rain falls, heavier and heavier, but the crowd still remains in the square. Wish to thank the Red Dragon for returning their lives, separating life from death. Dragon tells everyone she'll remain here until everyone returns home to rest. People gradually disperse, even the wakemen and refugees. Goodbye to the dragon. I worry that some of the dead who have not yet returned their fire yet will gather around the ruins, although that worry is unfounded. By the time the sun rises, no longer will there be any wandering dead on Terran soil. It sobs, also bids goodbye to the dragon as well. Next day, she will wake up early to collect bricks from all over the town and make a new door for Golan's workshop. A huge square empties out. Only a red dragon and a nomad.
Where are you off to next, Brigid?
Well, not sure there's anywhere to go, really. All I've ever done is pass on messages or report on coming catastrophes. I think they will replace my job, though. What are they called again? Catastrophe messengers? And less of us nomads anyhow, so I guess I'm glad someone will carry on the work at least.
You should try contacting Rhodes Island.
What's that?
A pharmaceutical company. They're good people. You'll have to look for their headquarters, the landship. Write them a letter tomorrow. I was hoping you could deliver it for me. I think you like the place. But for tonight, you have to rest inside the fort. I can't have you sleeping in the tent with all this rain. Let's head to the Citadel gates first.
The two of them slowly make their way toward the Citadel. Downpour continues, and the fire of the sculpture is nearly extinguished. Only a faint flame of indistinct color flickers in Dragon's eye sockets. Suddenly hear a voice from behind. Stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary, I'm telling you. How can someone forget their own bet?
Is there someone still in the square?
Alright, it's that invisible brother with mine. He made a bet with me.
Invisible?
Don't turn around, Lashini. He's a wee bit awkward, that one. No fan of being seen, I'm sure.
And at the flickering flame in the dragon's eyes, Labyrinth Hawk recalls the time centuries past, when Ailil was still a lad with a cracking voice. His own beard he had just started to sprout. Margaret the Exquisite was holding everything Victorian in the royal capital, ultimately even and a favorite custom or Terran commoners placing bets. That day, Labyrinth Hawk had exploded in an argument with his mother. Unprecedented level of rage. Afterwards, his mother ordered him to fast and reflect. But Ailil sneaked into his brother's bedroom with a big piece of steak for him. Others blew out every light in the room and merrily gorged themselves, even licking their fingers clean. Enough stubbornness. Soon everyone in the capital will be a Victorian, Ailil said. When I stroked his still soft beard and merely shook his head, he asked, "Why not make a bet with me? Once mother's gone, not a soul will willingly continue pretending they're Victorian." "Fine," Ailil replied. The other brother burst into laughter. "What's on the table then?" "I make a good wager. Why not the crown? If you win, I'll never set foot in the palace the rest of my life." "No, wager anything but that." Ailil had refused. But I insist on having it my way, half as a joke and half hungry for a gamble. I put him in tears, didn't I? Yes, because Ailil was always the type to give in. He'd definitely agree, and he said, "All right, you go, and then never come back." Afterwards, I believe in that palace, wandering for years as I spent that time unhappy in the capital. Heard it. For losing half his men in the court, Ailil was told not by even Victorians, but Terran nobles, speaking with Victorian accents. "You lost, Labyrinth Hawk. No matter how homesick you are, you spent far too long on this family visit. Not to mention you're just a pathetic shadow cast by firelight. And you have your own road to walk, or breaking promises. Right. Just like that, take out that purple fire from the stab wound on your chest. Now, return to the dragon who walked the same path you did." The king's face twists from pain, but nevertheless he extends an arm bit by bit towards the eye of the skeleton. Let's see, Ailil. This your blades? From the soul gold, I bet you can see her from Kirsten's ship. There's a blinding light, and it's fucking, and it's Brigand's hair. There's a blinding light from space Kirsten can see. This your blades? Did phantoms also feel pain? They shed tears of anguish? And the rain dripping through him as his body fades to nothingness, he can no longer tell. Perhaps the flame of your good descendant here. Labyrinth Hawk! Ashley snaps around, but there's no sign of anyone else in the square. The purple fire in the red dragon's eyes. Fires up a split second, and extinguishes it completely. Just before, the mother engaged the dark mist. Wakeman of the woods came to remind her yet to do that which was important. Held a proper funeral for her daughter. Learned her to fight the dark mist to the death. Began to stream down her face. Wakeman sang their ancient song. Followed the tradition. Wake for her daughter. Through the night she cried. A purple bonfire representing her daughter's soul. Or of tears. The fire burning through the city, extinguishing even the purple funeral fire. Wakeman once again asked the mother if she would still fight the dark mist of the death. Gazed upon the smoldering bonfire with tears on her face, saying, "Cannot abandon my king." Said those words, the feeble purple flame suddenly turned bright yellow. Daughter rose from the death, walked out of the flames. Mother and daughter embraced each other. So ends the story, not in fragments, but a true ending. Congratulations, we pieced together the truth. What a happy ending. All thanks to you. Come, let's toast, then I'll sign it published for, well, publishing it may be a challenge, but now that it's complete, funeral, the bonfire, the resurrection, it's out everything. Have it expected you to find the courage to return to NASARC? Oh my god, it's the damn singer. Oh, and this is... Yeah, oh yeah, no. Yeah, the case was that it wasn't Eblana, but that's the singer. All this time, I should have been doing that, and what a lovely ending, it wasn't it? Ah. And what a lovely ending, wasn't it? Eblana departed with the dead, never to return. As for you, your highness Lashani, I dedicate the story to you. Whether you publish it, seal it away, or have it fade into obscurity along the remnants of Dublin like me, it's all up to you. Did you happen to meet a producer? Did a producer happen to show up in Tara? How wonderful. I almost regret allowing you to belittle yourself with a title like the singer. You. Wait, what? You're not Lashani, you're Eblana. Oh my goodness. The one singer swinging her fiercely, spilling his drink to the table. You're dead. You can't be alive. You were killed twice. Once by spear and once by fire. You shouldn't be here. Oh wait. Sorry, I've stolen your voice, Eblana. My bad. Give me a moment. You're dead. You can't be alive. You were killed twice. Once by spear, once by fire. You shouldn't be here. Or am I dead? This isn't funny. You're dead, red dragon. Go back where you belong. I see, that's it. It was all a lie. You never did. You never died. You killed Lashani instead. It was all a trick, an illusion. If so, what becomes of your story? My story. I'll highlight the little... That they're killed. Wait a minute, you can't be here. You died. You got killed. Have you calmed down? You shouldn't be alive. No. Has that ever been an eternal sleep to me? What I can do with life, I can do with death. That's the reward for completing the story, writer. Let me tell you one thing. All that matters is fire. The purple fire! The purple fire from his story. It may seem ethereal, but it is no fiction. It's true that, over the long course of the war, I shared too much of my flame with others and became weak, feeble. But fire spreads, fire consumes, fire grows. After the battle with the Naxer around the Gastral, I needed to take back the flames I had given away, which had been grown on the plains, in the ruins, the hearts of the people. You wanted it repaid. With interest! Taxation is the most basic authority of a monarch. Mundane kings collect blood taxes to nurture their armies, to fight over land and people that will last mere centuries at the most. I collect the blood taxes to pave a road between life and death with the Red Dragon's flame, so that all those caught in between will look up to me. The ravings of a mad woman. No doubt it sounds that way to you, but you cannot fathom what happens when enough death to consume a nation is returned to its master. 1,000 years of anger, sorrow, and hatred converged on me all at once. Did you really think they'd let my flesh and spirit fade away so easily? Taxes, no! This was all about taxes. This event was all about taxes. Slave to hatred, what a fitting end for you. You already forgotten what I said in your story. Everyone and everything that thought they could mold me just happened to take on a form I was able to wield with ease. Were I truly their slave, you'd have been ashed the moment I saw you. You lunatic! That's why you allowed Wellington to station his troops in the dark woods, to blockade the city, even continued the curfew. You never intended to spare Nasa Yorsi. I thank you for finally being willing to shed the light upon the unpleasant truth of the dark mist in Wellington. Was the Battle of Silver Rock Bluffs, which you witnessed from the deck of the Gastrel, still haunt you in your alcohol-fueled dreams? Mr. Valachi has it. Why else would you be so obsessed with depicting the mist dangling above people's heads, yet so loath to define it? The curfew was justified at first. There were still Victorian spies in Nasa Yorsi at the time indeed. The Duke of Wellington stepped up on the blockade when Laushni entered the city, because he wanted to smother any possibility of news leaking about the two Red Dragons. When the food had disappeared and came back on its own, the Brigadier was more than just your most trusted lieutenant. He was also captain of Wellington's Red Steel Guard. When he went to ask for supplies, Wellington acquiesced. Wellington simply became disappointed in Laushni when she left Nasa Yorsi to seek the Wakeman. That's all. You should thank her, really. You'd never have escaped the woods if that Wellington hadn't relaxed the blockade out of disappointment. As for the victory party you were so afraid to describe, don't tell me you've really glorified it into a fairy tale in your memories. Of course not. What happened to the Dubliners who weren't planning to give up their power? The ones you took away on a pretext. They were swallowed by the dark mist, as you put it, quite literally. But Vashti still managed to make up her mind and killed you. Wellington didn't follow your ridiculous orders. Suppose I believe that your aberrant purple fire left you a vessel. What do you plan to do with dead, lead an army of the dead to retake Tara? I won't help you. No living soul will. You and your dead friends can go straight to hell. As long as you introduce me to a producer. Don't worry, the producer is releasing soon. Sometime. The producer's gonna come around soon. Sometime. Indeed, you are never suited to be Dublin singer. You cling to what you see and believe. When the two can no longer be reconciled, you chose self-destruction rather than to give up on either. Do you really imagine that everything has gone the way you think?
A letter, your grace. You may enter. Is it urgent? No, ma'am. But look at the seal. I'm Mickey Mouse. Got us on record for the past 50 years.
Tara! The Duke of Cantor scrutinizes what the servant's holding. On the edge of the envelope is an emblem, excavated from the dust of history. The young had never seen it, while the old had forgotten it. He was forced to keep an eye on history and remember its source.
We're uncertain whether it's the mark of Terra or of King Gael.
I never took you for a scholar of heraldry. That was not my intention, What does the solemn servant look like? Oh, that's a cool look. Trilby Asher type look. It's enough that we know what it signifies. Open it and read it loud. Not too quickly. I'm dying.
Oh, yes, ma'am. There's no greeting. Your previous letter was received. Your response was delayed as the time was not yet ripe. Now it is. From this day forth, martial law is hereby lifted, and now they are seen in surrounding lands south of Grey Hills.
And, one last sentence. Kill yourself.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Martial law to be lifted at midnight across all Tara. Publishing restrictions lifted. The art committee rejoices. Read more on page 2.
Finally, now we can call this a proper tavern. Here, with the curfew lifted, you can drink all through the night. Besides, it's my birthday. Drinks on the house. Really? Sure about this? There are enough people in the city to drink you out of house and home. Worry about yourself. Look at you, rich boy, leaving your lamp on in the middle of the day. I was just so busy I forgot. It's been warm lately, so I've been busy renovating. Thought I'd take the day off. Really have been too busy. One other beer. Gotta get this fatigue out of my system. Here you go! On the other hand, I'm almost more afraid of not being tired. Tired as I know I'm still breathing. That's quite it. How should I put this? Living! Yes, living. You too, ma'am. Here's one for you. Oh, it's you, Emma. Sorry, I've gotta get going. Off to do your time on the AG plate? Yes. No idea how you managed to smuggle all that food out last year. You've been paying it off with honest work over there. Don't be shy now. Have one on me. Thank you. The living. Tatara! 2. Holds the cup with one hand. Puts the other in her pocket, clutching the necklace she reclaimed last winter. Words said to her when it was returned come out of her mouth, almost by instinct. To all our countrymen who gave their lives for Tara. You're really leaving, Brigid? Yeah, the burn beasts are calling for me from the pastures. Besides, still invented this Rhodes Island that last you wanted me to see. Want to come with? Maybe if I have the chance. It's sad to think that you're the one who brought us to Naciossi, but you can't stay yourself. It's not that I couldn't, I just chose not to. Make your own choice to stay. Stay out of the Wakeman for me if they come back to the city. Is that your intuition again? It's not always right, but I don't smell that burn and stink anymore. It's like fresh buds in spring, dew in the morning. Hello, hello, Brigadier. Oh, this seems awkward. You two know each other? You could say that. What are you doing here? I don't recall anything happened which the Red Seal Guard would need to be deployed for. I want to leave. Came to honor the memory of my comrades. Scoundrels to be sure, but they fought by my side. If you're looking to take revenge on those who died during your exile, this is your chance. All of the soldier on leave wouldn't be considered an attack on the military. Wasn't you who killed some of the others? Not directly. Remember what you did. That's enough for me. I see. More can anyone ask for than to be remembered. Elteen, also known as the Festival of Fire, is scheduled to be revived in the coming days. Fire passing ritual will start in Oak Grove County.
You're awfully quiet. Are you nervous?
No, it just strikes me that we managed to turn what you'd see in the books into reality. On the last day of spring, we extinguished the fire in our homes, come together to relight them all at the Balotade. In the smoke of the bonfire and drift and ash, we welcome the coming of a new season, of a new life.
Your Highness Laushani, the lighting ceremony will begin in a few minutes. Alright, thank you.
Maybe I've waited too long for this. It feels no realer than a dream. I wanted to sing the most, but you've already sung for me back in Nasa Arsi, so this time, the flames in my hand will do the singing. One more thing, Your Highness. About Her Highness Eblana.
Your Highness, it's time!
Sorry, Nemos. We can speak after the ritual.
The Draco steps forward. Stone platform sculpted in the style of the ruins serves as her lectern. Lights the bonfire upon it and turns around. Square beneath her, many faces gaze up with bated breath. Takes a deep breath.
1,000 years ago, the Dracos of Victoria invaded Tara, created the title of King Gael, and as an epithet of shame, robbed the Nomactarians of their freedom. 600 years ago, reigning King Gael had no choice but to allow the Victorians to remake the royal capital in their own image. 200 years ago, the Aslan seized the crown of Victoria. Once again, they trampled the dreams of the Terrans beneath their feet. Thus that even our language was almost lost to us. Now, Tara stands on her own. Why recite this piece of history? Shame, not to fan the flames of hatred, but in defense of peace. Sing what songs in Victorian suffice to praise the beauty you see. Tell what tales in Taran will move the passions. Do we remember, so that we might provide the living the dignity of life, the dead the promise of reunion. Throughout the cold night, we shall return a warm flame, and such I, Laushani Dublin, the last descendant of the Taran Dracos. I shall light this fire, symbolizing new life. May it guide the way for all, whether living or departed.
Close. Enclosed, you will find templates for nomadic city immigration forms. Signed, the Kingdom of Tara. This is treason. The King of Tara has long been one of the Tara's Victorian Emperor. I think his letters changed it. Why conflict the Red Dragons even indefinitely delayed the coronation so many are looking forward to? But in reality, the indecisive claimants, the corrupt oligarchs, the blockading army, and the flames of dissent, all these issues have been put to rest. Last time in centuries, they proudly tell a new legend of King Gael. Short term, the unrest has indeed been contained in Wellington's domain. Time, however, become a greater threat than any insurrection. Tara must not be allowed to secede from Victoria. As long as it doesn't take its entire territory out of a city, neither Dukes and I will continue negotiating with them.
Nemos managed to survive despite every death flag. She did, surprisingly enough.
Yes, ma'am. I'll draft some long-term plans regarding that.
Yeah, it's finally over.
Well done indeed.
Thank you. What was it you wanted to say about Eblana before the ceremony?
I never found her body. If she somehow survived, worry that someday, in a completely different story will be told about the resurrection of the Red Dragon.
What story? That there was no miracle, but the assassination of one dragon by another?
Worse than that.
I see. You're afraid that Eblana will return, and paint the whole thing as a conspiracy I orchestrated.
Our position is not unassailable.
Both know that her body disappeared earlier that night after you killed her the first time. What I dragged through the streets wasn't her body, but an empty coffin. And I also know that it was I who used the last spark of fire she left in her spirit to ignite the coffin.
Yeah. And literally here is like, yep, that's not what we saw, but it's like the story. The story told, granted, that we don't even necessarily know if that's the story they told. That's the story that like Eblana was telling the singer. So we don't even know if what the story that they're telling is. There's a couple things like that. It is a quite long epilogue.
It was I who left the city to parley with Wellington. He got our plans in exchange for him, delaying military action while they played out. It was I who walked into the fire of the people that had turned to Eblana. I who quenched the place the fire of death with the fire of life. And I who walked out of the fire in the end. We've known of this since
that day in the balcony of Nasir's citadel. Eblana had left us haphazard with no solution. The only way out was a miracle. Miracle we scripted and directed. If anything, the true miracle was the Wakeman returning to the city. Eblana hadn't awakened the exiled king. Brigid hadn't delivered that message centuries overdue. Moran hadn't persuaded them. It's just the two of us. That miracle can never have occurred. So what is there to fear at this point? Eblana has cut off any path leading away from the throne. All I can do is to devote the rest of my days to Tara. And patiently await my judgment in some unknowable future.
Nimbus was dragging an empty coffin as she planned to resurrect the dragon the moment she first killed you. You're lying, you. I know it was Wellington. He found it conscious and lifted the blockade on his own.
You just won't give up, will ya? The Iron Duke with the conscience. Hilarious.
You promised him that only good could come from your scheming.
All I promised him on the gas room was that I could change the direction of Tara, so long as Laushani was willing to return. Red dragon obliges, flames of death, the spectre force with its dead soldiers, Dublin with its blood-stained hands. Everything was fated to sink into darkness, while the Terrans united under the banner of the one and only Red Dragon. Of course, His Grace was unaware that everyone in Alciarce was meant to die for the plan, but I knew. A city of doomed souls in exchange for Tara's last instability. Only good could come of it, no? Shame that the Duke isn't fond of Laushani. Things could have gone even more smoothly otherwise.
Sophistry, you lied to Wellington. Your plan was anything but harm as the people of Nasiosi did live.
To everyone's surprise, in exchange for their lives, Laushani reached for the scepter of a power that she detested so much. She chose to write a saga, a novel, a miracle that should have been beneath her noble dignity. It was something only she could do. Something that wouldn't have been possible even a few years ago. Would ye have placed a miracle on the scales from the start?
What if Laushani had failed?
Then you wouldn't be sitting here enjoying your drink. Sure, you've heard the stories about what the Iron Duke does to whatever he considers an obstacle.
Every story begins with inspiration. Memories rush into the writer's mind like seawater at a high tide. He wants to break free, find himself powerless against the oncoming tide.
The Red Dragon! You knew from the beginning. You almost destroyed Nasayorsi and made a mockery of all Tara!
And now, I must object to that. Simply fulfilled the promise. Is being true to one's word no longer a virtue? Even if you yourself admitted that this was a happy ending.
No, never. This isn't how the story ends. This isn't how my story's supposed to go.
Ryder sees a sliver of white. He falls to his knees and crawls along the ground, trying to collect the scattered sheets of paper that had flown loose. 1, 2, 3. Clutches them in his hand along with his pen.
No, no, no!
What would you like to write? Let me help you.
No! No!
We can Eblana the Eblana through a rough process of Eblana-ing. This is Eblana, the real Eblana. We can tell if we Eblana enough. I think enough Eblanas will unlock the secret of Eblana. The writer's shoulders tremble hysterically. Panicked, he begins to back off until his back hits the rickety wall of the tavern. Grabbing his pen like a spear, he begins to stab at the paper. Muttering under his breath, he only manages to cover them with scattered ink blots. Soon, even his muttering loses confidence. Commotion causes the drunken barkeep to come up from behind the counter and grab him by the collar.
What you blabbing about?
As he can no longer form words, the writer looks desperately toward the woman, watching him with disinterest. Points to the woman's hands and at his own mouth. The meaning was clear.
You've lost your words. Perhaps you've hit your head from excitement, or just had a minor stroke. Or perhaps it's because you saw something you believed in so firmly, for so long, shattered to pieces. The very thing that inspired you to join Dublin, caused you to say the victory party, made you turn your back to Nazi halfway. But it's time to wake up.
The trembling hand. The writer tries to write in his palm, but leaves only crooked, disjointed lines.
You wrote a good story for Tara. A complete story, not a collection of fragments. It's a good one. I like it. And I like even more now that it belongs only to me, not to ye. Try and go for it, singer. No, writer. Try and go for the last Dubliner. I look forward to the stories you'll tell me when death reunites us.
With one last glance at the writer, the woman tosses a few coins onto the table and walks out of the tavern. Memory comes back to the writer. Same look Eblana gave him that night, a year and a half ago, in
decided to lay his report after the leader's shadow and Ray departed, hopes in staying in both sides' good graces. It said, go fuck yourself. If the real producer was the Eblanas we made along the way, true. Alright, what should I call you then? Whatever you're thinking, I'm only Necrasier. Unless you too find a signed sheet of paper to hold no power whatsoever. Operator Necras, are you sure? Yeah, we can just call you Eblana. Do you Necras? Really? Necras? Seriously, that you want this? If you find the title necessary, Erudite. For my part, I'm more curious about your lack of reaction upon hearing the whole story. I've already heard the story. Ah, a lapse on my part, I see. First a private letter from Nasi Ursi, then fragments through official channels. Ashini's getting better at this. And I presume she's told you all about me, just why you were willing to sit down with me by yourself, and hear out this patchwork tale of illusions and insinuations. No, she has yet to find your body. That makes your courage all the more admirable. But I mustn't neglect to give credit to Lashini where it's due. She's more than just a qualified dance partner now. She's ready to take the lead. I do hope she enjoys herself. Sounds like you like your new toy. Of course I do. The powers of the dead aren't necessarily greater than those of the living, but they are more lasting and harder to check. But you'll soon grow bored of them, like everything else you've ever had. Followers, martyrs, dominion, status. Life is short, but that is long, Erudite. There's still so many interesting people in the mortal realm. That alone is reason enough for me to await them in death. You gave Reed your old toys. A cut in question, Erudite, but I'll allow it. And not only because your accusation is astute, if prejudiced, but also because you're one of the interesting people I mentioned. What makes me interesting? I am inseparable from death. Is it not the natural order of things that those like me should be drawn to Rhodes Island? I was drawn, so I came. This place is always covered in the scent of death. For all especially around you, my dear Erudite. I don't understand. You will someday. When the tides are up and the night of death descends, you'll be grateful for my presence, so long as I do not mock your predicament. As for right now, I am simply the shadow of Tara's leader. Just Necras, and more. Just Necras, nothing more. That's what we end on. That's the last quote. We're truly Necrassing it. Straight up Necrassing our shit. Oh, we've done it, chat. We have done it! Yippee! I am free! I will be able to go piss again! I will be able to not speak very much and to give my voice a rest! Thank you to everybody who showed up. Thanks again to Dorian for the little donation. Channel memberships do exist now. I'm not sure if anyone's got them. I have to check out, even check if anyone's got them. If you're interested. If you're interested, there's a $1 and a $5 option. They're not super different. It's more just like if you want to, how much you'd want to put. So, yeah. Thank you all for showing up, and I wonder what we'll do next time. Maybe we'll read one of the very few events, or we'll actually stream something else. Maybe we'll do the Minecraft parkour. Either way, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you fellas later.